My emotional support togepi has finally evolved. It's Tifa!
Tifa.
Bad Tifa. Where were you the other stream? Exactly.
I was bowling.
You were you're Pokemon. You're supposed
Actually,
to answer with Tifa? Or something like that.
Tifa?
Happy Friday, everybody. It's warm, my brain is mush. How are you all doing?
Absolutely.
Hello, Psycho. Sorry your vacation is over, but did you get all the dawn trailing in that you wanted? I think is the most important part.
2 weeks goes by too fast.
Yes, it does. Also, congrats on being first Groundhog. Welcome in, and thank you very much for the resub.
I appreciate it. Love Tifa.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I've missed you. Welcome back.
No, I thank you. It
Finally
feels
made
like
stream.
forever.
Yes. Let's not talk about Dawn Trail. Oh, okay.
Is
Sorry,
it
I
no
will
good?
talk about Dawn Trail for a moment. Apparently, people are 50-50 on it. There
I mean,
are
I've
some
heard there's a
people.
lot of story.
Yeah, there are some people that say it's great, and there are some people that are like, no, it's not great. I haven't played it yet. So,
How far in are you roughly? Because we just finished Heaven's Ward. What's it called?
Heaven's Ward.
Heaven's Ward.
Heaven's Ward.
And at the beginning, I really disliked it. But like, I want to say towards like the middle and the end, I did really start to like it. Like much better than A Realms Reborn.
My challenge is that I dislike some of the main cast. They are well written and they are well acted, but because of that and how the characters are, some of them I just don't like. Which I guess is a good thing, because, you know, if they were just flip-flopping and like a flag in the wind, then I wouldn't have an opinion on them. So that's a good thing, I guess. I just don't love them. Can still 100% recommend playing up until Endwalker. Okay. Can you tell us what you don't like about Dawn Trail? Because
I hope it will still grow on you though.
if it's story spoilers, then I guess not. But if there's like gameplay choices or something that were made, then I'd be interested in hearing them. Groundhog, how are you dealing with the heat? Because
I saw Matanard mention, when was it? Wednesday as well, that it's quite warm with you guys as well.
yeah, like 33 degrees.
It's
Slightly warmer than over here, so my heart goes out to you.
Oh, we
not
have
nice.
31 or something.
Something like that.
So it's not that much better, really.
The problem is the story. Okay, well, fair enough. The rest is actually good. Bosses are great, as well as the music. Alright. Well, that's sucks.
Oh, curious.
At least the gameplay is good, I guess. I
got a new writer.
for this.
Well,
Alright.
it might still get better. I have my fingers crossed
Yeah.
and all of that.
I want to say with the slow start of A Realm Reborn, but then the story, like the pace picking up and getting pretty good, I want to say. You know, they can't
that
all
makes
be
sense.
hits. I mean, that would be nice, but eventually, with a game that's now been, again, running for like 10 years, there's bound to be stuff that doesn't, like, immediately become a hit.
Yeah. Been struggling with migraines from all the thunderstorms.
That sucks. Also, I keep looking like this because Tifa is sitting rather close to me and we're making weird fake leather on fake leather sounds. And I don't know if it was do something to my ears.
I already moved.
Yeah. Go take it easy if another one is coming up. I'm happy to have
I
you,
hope
of
those
course.
pass soon as well.
Yeah, that sucks. Especially with the heat and the humidity like this, I want to say thunderstorms are more prone to happen. At least that's the case over here. Like every
They're
time.
also gone very fast.
Yeah.
At least there's that.
How should I explain this? If you've played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, whenever you went to Hyrule, there was lots of thunder randomly. It feels like that. It's suddenly warm, and then suddenly there's a spot of rain, and then there's thunder, and then it's gone. And then it's this super nice tropical kind of heat where even just sitting and breathing
It's like
will make you
going
sweat.
through a swamp.
Oh,
That's basically how it is today.
but you'll be happy to know that one person enjoys this. Psycho thinks everything under 30 degrees is basically winter.
Yeah, I'm still not sure
Impressive.
how you get to that, but I
How
feel
much
like
heat
25 degrees is like the max.
That should be the legal maximum, yeah.
Yeah,
We should have
25
laws.
is plenty.
for that.
Like, there will be sun, it's warm, you can walk around in a t-shirt, like that's all you need. And you're not like boiling to death. So
Yeah.
25 is perfectly fine.
For once, I find myself agreeing with one of your statements wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's just a constant struggle, to be honest, but my new migraine glasses with not faded lenses help a lot. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that glasses can make such a difference with that. That's nice.
I'm looking
Good.
that way because I have the dishwasher turned on and it's making like sounds.
The sound, I don't think the microphones picked it up, but let's be honest. The sound we could just hear coming from the kitchen. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. We've all been there, right? We've eaten something weird, or we just caught a stomach bug, and our stomach makes a sound, a grumbly, where you know I have 10, 9, 8, I need to start running. I have seconds before I will have projectile diarrhea ejecting from my backside. That's the sound that just came from that thing.
This dishwasher is struggling right now.
Like, I was trying to not react to it. Tifa did look, because why wouldn't you? I hope the microphone did pick it up, because
I only turn on the dishwasher like once every 3 months or so. So I
whenever
think
we
it's,
remember that we have a dishwasher.
so I think it's just struggling.
Poor thing is trying to get into gear.
It really is.
Oh, I've been addicted to Persona 3 Reloaded. Have you
Wait,
played
didn't
the
you
original?
I thought you finished that already.
That was Persona 5.
Oh, I was gonna say, I have in my mind like a few months ago that you played that.
I think what can be confusing is that for some reason with 5 and 3, 3 is Reloaded, the remake, and 5 is Royal, or Royal? I keep confusing the two. So it's P3R and P5R when people abbreviate it.
Oh god, I don't remember.
Or you are just Tifa and you don't remember things. No, that was Persona 5.
It's more likely that.
But you, not too long ago, said, oh, we should just play that on the side. And when I reminded you that conservatively, for people that just play as they go, that's 150 hours, so 600 hours in our pace. And
Yeah,
we're
but
looking
has
for a shorter
that
game.
ever stopped us?
No,
That's
but
the
at
thing,
the
like we're also
time,
playing Higurashi now.
at the time we were looking for something a little bit shorter.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't mean it's like fully crossed off the
No,
list.
at some point. We'll get there.
That's what I mean.
They have an orangey pink tint. That gives me massive vacation vibes.
The glasses itself.
That sounds really cool, actually. Unfortunately, we used those up to make one of the back hats behind us as a prop. But many years ago, we went to this expo, and one of the goodies that we were able to scoop with all the swag and the loot, as we used to say back then, were these, I think, really cheap plastic sunglasses. But they have tinted lenses.
It's like your typical
Can't speak anymore. It's too
vacation,
warm. Yes.
open car vibe,
Yeah, basically.
reflective
Reflective?
sunglasses.
They're not reflective.
They kind of are.
No, they have this brownish orange tint to them. And like, they don't look great on me, so I never wore them unironically outside. But when I do put them on, the world gets this vacation hue. You know when you're watching a movie or a
The
show?
world gets a filter too.
Yeah, and they go to like South America, usually it's Mexico, and suddenly they put like this yellow filter over the film. It's kind of like that, but not yellow, like this tan, brownish color, and it feels nice. It's weird, but it
Speaking of
works.
glasses, I have a spot that refuses to come off.
Is it the glasses or your eye?
No, it's on my glass. I can see it.
Okay. Didn't get to play it until I bought my best friend's PS4 this summer. See, it was Persona 5 back then.
No.
Played Portable before, played it 3 times. I love Persona 3 so much.
Hey, I'm glad you liked it.
You have to play it for me too, because I don't think I'll ever touch it again. Watch
Hey,
the
you said
playthrough.
that was the one you didn't like, right?
Yes. Watch the playthrough of FES, so I've seen the original too. Okay, fair enough. How did you feel about FES? Because I wanna say some people prefer to not acknowledge it existing because of how, I guess because of how it works in relation to the ending of Persona 3. I mean, technically it's like a sequel, but some people feel it's unnecessary.
Well, at some point I'd like to play through them.
Are brown like that. Makes things warm-toned. I love it too. That's better words than I was using as I was struggling to explain the concept.
No, but I'm really glad the migraine glasses, I wasn't even aware that was a thing, are helping you.
Yeah, the same. Also,
Such a little thing can make a difference then.
I'm slightly confused over here because Tifa was very kind. She asked me what I wanted to drink during stream, and I told her I want a black tea. Please, when you make the tea, just put the tea bag in, add a teeny tiny bit of hot water, so just enough so that it activates the tea bag, and then just put cold water over it. I prefer with this weather to drink cold beverages. Tifa has made a 50-50 concoction, which given the room temperature in here being roughly 600 degrees, it's hot tea now. And I want to drink it because for some reason I'm craving black tea right now. But if I drink this, I will start sweating profusely.
How about you pour a little bit of the water in there?
Tifa, with all the electronics around us, I'll not be pouring anything anywhere. Just generally, that's a bad idea.
But yeah, I may have added too much warm water.
Can't give an opinion on the gameplay because I didn't play it myself. Fair. Now you're talking about the answer? Oh yeah, true. FES was just the name of the edition. About the answer, which I did watch and have mixed feelings about. I'm interested to see how they adapted in the fall. They made it a Game Pass DLC thing. True, I remember that when they announced the Persona 3 remake. They said that it would be just the base game, and people were like, wait, what? What about the answer, the sequel thing? And ta-da! That's DLC. I had to take the tea bag tag away from Tifa because she was making sounds that... I'm weird like that.
My poor tea bag.
I'm enjoying the quiet that suddenly happened. Didn't you not finish the original game, Jack? I did. And I hated it because I really don't like the ending. I understand the ending. I say this every time, but it wasn't my feelings about it. I understand why the story is the way it is, and I understand why the story ends the way it is. But I hate it because I like things that potentially tackle that theme, but take it in a different direction. That's the best I can do without any spoilers. I'm happy to post it in Discord with spoilers actually explaining the details.
So that's something we also still need to go through?
Persona 3? No. I'd rather play 4 and 5.
They were standalones though.
Yeah, yeah. Or if you want to be wild, I keep forgetting which one it is. I think it's... Okay, there's Persona 1, and then there's Persona 2, and there's Persona 2. No, there's 2 Persona 2 games.
What's the difference?
A different story. And one of them has Hitler in it.
Okay.
As a character.
Okay.
And if I ever feel like the super, like I want to play some of the very older games, I want to see if we can play the one that has Hitler in it. Just because of how wacky and strange that experience is. It isn't like they go, spoilers for Persona 2, as far as I know, because I haven't actually played that one. It's not like they go to 1935 Germany and then
just like a modern...
No, he just happens to be there for reasons. But
okay.
Yeah, just accept it. Also look at me. You have 2 eyelashes that were crisscross on your cheek. How do you even do that? You mean Führer? Yeah, I think they changed his name for the Western releases. I think in Japan they actually called him Hitler.
Somehow you made that sound so incredibly not German. For a German.
Because whenever I speak English, I actually have a hard time flipping back to German pronunciation of words.
That was more like
Yeah.
how I would say it, but I have, the foreign accent thing going on.
Which is funny, by the way, because we've been to the Netherlands last week, and the amount of U sounds they have. I cannot take these people. I'm sorry,
not
Dutch
like
people.
this, though.
I cannot take some of you serious when you talk about certain things. Like the baked good that is delicious and a treat and comes with this little like panty thing, a muffin. Dutch people usually, when they're speaking Dutch, they call them muffins. And I just can't. Like, no.
Which is really annoying
No.
because that's the one word. When I speak German or English and I want to say muffin, I usually go towards muffin or muffin
Yes.
as well.
Yes, and muffins. No. If you're saying an English word, pronounce it Englishly, please.
Sometimes it's hard to swap.
But they do
between them.
that with everything. Whenever there's a U in it, then they do the U sound. And people say German is hard because we have the umlaut, the Ö, Ä, and the Ü. No, just learn Dutch. It's a natural feature. Yeah,
They're still
exactly.
easier than the German sounds.
No, it's not. I can't do it.
Yeah. At least we put the letters to how you pronounce it and we don't put dots on top and then go like, oh no, now you say it this way.
Opposite for me, I can't pronounce difficult words only like in German. But do you try to make them sound English? That's what I do sometimes when I want to sound fancy. And funnily enough, if you just do it with enough conviction behind it, I guess, then people will just follow you along and like, oh yeah, he's using the fancy words. That's my go-to move.
Sometimes you just gotta speak fast.
But back to Persona 3 for a moment. I care about the female main character. Ignored the game's recommendation and played as her first. Then I went back and played main character, then female main character again with a new perspective. Also because I've just barely messed up getting all the social links in one run to unlock a persona. Yeah.
So the game is different depending on the main character you pick?
Yeah, for Persona 3 Portable, they added a female playable character, and the story is slightly different.
Oh, okay.
Overall, it's still the same thing, but some interactions are different. The story is a bit different enough that it warrants playing through as both.
Okay, fair. Makes sense.
You've seen how they censored it? If you haven't, then I won't say it's hilarious. Didn't they put sunglasses on him? I think that was the thing. And of course, they don't call him Hitler, they call him Führer. You can date the guys, Tifa. How could I resist that? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really nice thing. Because I want to say in every other Persona game, you... Stop hitting the microphone. You play a guy, and you can date the characters you can, so...
Can you not make a harem?
No, I don't think so. So, giving you an additional playable character that can get all hot and bothered with other characters, that's nice.
Well, I mean, that is definitely a different playthrough.
Yeah, I mean, it works, right? They did. Yeah, I mean, if Hitler puts on sunglasses, he's still Hitler, I'm just saying. Like, but hey, they tried, right? I mean, apparently it was good enough for the censors.
We're definitely gonna get through them at some point.
No harem routes, so all endings are bad endings. Yes. When we ever get to play through a Persona game, we'll do the celibate route, where we will have no hanky-pankies. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Do you know how many arguing there will be when we play those games between us? Which character we should spend more time with? Because I can tell you in 5 they cater, I want to say, to all the tastes.
I mean, we can just play rock, paper, scissors on that.
Is that how you picked me?
I mean...
You could have...
Oh man.
You could have at least pretended. You could have attempted to try to lie. How I missed streaming with you, Tifa.
It definitely feels like a while. Can't remember.
What do you mean?
What even happened the last time?
Oh, suddenly we're talking about Higurashi?
No streaming.
2 weeks for you.
Basically, yeah.
No, not basically. It's been 2 weeks. You can look at a calendar. It's been 2 weeks. You can now do that in Reload. In previous Persona 3 releases, you can only romance the girls. Because of course a guy can't be friends with a girl.
That's not possible.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of weird.
Can't be a thing at all.
Don't quote me on this. So why do I have so many pages open? I find it funny that in Japanese released games, or games from Japan, oftentimes you have a thing like in Persona 3 where it's like, oh, you have 2 playable main characters and main character 1 can date this set of characters, and you good?
Yeah.
You sit next to me, you have a microphone on, you can say the line, you don't need to type it.
You said don't quote me on this, so I thought it was funny if I would quote you on it, but then your line turned so long that I just stopped quoting you on it. But yeah, I started quoting you on it.
That they give you 2 playable characters because each character can only date certain ones, whereas in most Western games they just go, yeah, no, everybody is into everybody, just do your thing. Like, play through it as many times as you want, but everybody will want to get into your pants. I don't know if one is better or not. I want to say...
I mean, I like it if you can just have the choice. Sometimes you want to, like in Baldur's Gate. Mm-hmm. It would have been sad if I couldn't hook up with Karlach. Or Shadowheart.
I want to say, for me, purely from an egoistical time-saving perspective, I preferred when they just make it so that every romance interest will be interested in you as the player character regardless of the choices you made during character creation. Because that way I don't have to play through the whole game twice. Yeah, I'm lazy like that. There you go, that's my approach to love.
It's more content.
The lazy one.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't quote all of that.
Was it not worth the effort?
It was very long.
I am happy about something though. Oh, yeah. It's not just that though. They're totally different social links, different music, and different characterization. That's a good thing.
That's all different. Even
Basically,
though with the music, I might not even notice. Like often in the moment I think like, oh, this is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But then if you go through it again, it's like, is this the same or is it different?
It's still good though.
Yeah,
we both don't have an ear for music. Like we can tell you if we like a song or not, but I want to say in Danganronpa, in the first one at least, as far as I remember, there's 2 songs which are very similar, but there are 2 distinct songs. I couldn't tell them apart. Like people back then were like, oh yeah, now you're listening to this one and the other one was this one. I'm like, okay,
I'm just bad at remembering.
I'll take your word for it, but I don't know, I don't have really a musical memory. Maybe it's like prosopagnosia, but for sounds.
I'm quite sure that's thing.
Or maybe I'm just cursed, like by Oyashiro-sama, which leads me to, hey Tifa, don't you have a story to tell?
I was gonna save it for another time.
Her face. Yes.
But
this is perfect.
That is true. I actually had a perfect segue into Higurashi because on Monday...
Here we go. We have a perfect segue into Higurashi. Pretend I never said anything before.
On Monday we went to the gym and when we were done, I went to the dressing room, got my stuff ready, and I walked in on 3 people having a conversation, as is normal, as you have in the dressing room. And funnily enough, I was listening along for a bit, I was beat, I just sat on the bench a bit. And one of the women, she was, I want to say, around my age, was talking about how she is an identical twin.
You see how this relates to Higurashi. If you know, you know.
She was talking about how she's an identical twin and she did a lot with her sister, but they weren't fully alike when it came to their interests, with the exception that they both liked training, being like a personal trainer, but they never like pursued that career. They had the same music, same workout style. So at some point they were like, hey, you know what? We're gonna go into this career.
We're gonna become personal trainers. Because that's our dream.
That was their dream. And apparently they did make it. Because they went through... She was telling that she went to a gym. They applied. But they weren't looking for people for... Or they weren't looking for 2 people for the courses that she could give.
But they both applied because they're twins and they do everything together, which is really cute.
No, they did not do everything together. That's the other one. You're running ahead.
Wow,
Spoilers,
Tifa.
You're running ahead. So in the end, they were like, well, we don't need 2 people, but we could, I guess, cut it in half. And then you do the Monday course and the other one does like the Thursday course. So she was here while her sister was working and giving a course. And then on Thursday, she would do the course. And she was talking how most of the students probably don't even know that they're 2 different people who are giving these things.
Feels familiar, I don't know why.
It does feel kind of familiar. And I was sitting there like, okay, I don't come across identical twins that often. And the other lady that she was talking to, I want to say she was around her 50s, 60s from Russia. And she was talking that she's also an identical twin. I'm like, how often?
How is it possible
many identical twins are in this room?
You don't ever meet identical twins and then you play Higurashi Chapter 2 Watanagashi and then suddenly you get stuck in a room with 2 identical twins.
So my ears went like, whoop. So this lady's talking how she's also identical twins, but she used to do everything with her sister. They were like the package deal. What one did, the other had to do. Same classes, same clothes, all of that. And she was talking about how hard it was to find work back then. And they applied at all of these places, but none of them wanted to hire both of them. Until they came across a place that was basically like the gym, was willing to cut the 40 hours into 20 hours each so that they could share the work. So in the end, the company hired 2 part-timers to fill up the 1 full-time position so that they could work together. And I thought that was kind of sweet.
When Tifa told me this, like my first reaction was like, this is so sweet. This is so incredibly sweet. But at the same time, I'm thinking, like I don't know how these people are financially situated, of course. But if I apply for a job for 40 hours, usually it's also because I need the money for the 40 hours.
I have no clue how they do it. But yeah, it also means
they both only get
share
paid
one
half.
salary.
Yeah. Like maybe they also live together and if one of them had gotten the job, then they would have just bankrolled everything and now they both chip in. Like whatever, clearly they were happy with it, so awesome, more power to you, that works, super nice. But
I kind of wanted to ask, but I also wasn't butting in the conversation. I was just like listening, sipping my water. And I'm like looking at the third person who was standing there also listening.
Like,
but
do it, be a twin.
But was kind of part of the conversation. And I'm like, just thinking like, are you an identical twin as well? Triplets? Like, what are you part of? Like, it has to be something, right? But she didn't say anything.
Because you missed that part of the conversation at the very start.
She probably started.
Yeah. But if it's once a week, I would assume it's part-time. Something like that. I mean,
the
maybe.
Personal trainers, I believe, was because they specifically mentioned only doing 2 classes a week. The other one did say it was a 40-hour job. So now they do 20 hours each, or did. I'm not sure if they did or now currently do.
Not important.
Doesn't really matter.
Ultimately, everybody was happy, but how often do you get to be in a situation like this? Like.
And the Russian lady, I actually have a course with her sometimes on Monday. I wasn't in the course this time, but it is the one I signed up for. And now I'm wondering, like, am I...
Yeah, which one am I actually doing this with? Because if they are identical enough that they also share jobs and stuff, maybe they also do this for when they go to the gym as customers. Like
share a gym membership.
Yeah, that saves money.
You could pull that off. That is very true.
I mean, you can go to the gym as often as you want. So like, that would be such like a glitch in the Matrix moment. like you're working the reception at a gym, and when this person comes in, they work out for like an hour or two or whatever.
Leave all sweaty.
Completely beat. You hand them their stuff back, they give you the key back for the locker or whatever, they leave it like, yeah, have a nice day, bye. And like 16 seconds later, they return completely calm, like, hey, yeah, I'm here to work out. And like, wow, what? Every day, how do you do it? I don't need rest days.
I know plenty of identical and fraternal twins growing up. I think I knew like maybe 2 or 3 identical twins.
Not even one.
No?
No. 0. The first time I saw an identical twin was in a movie. And I've seen, I've walked past identical twins after that because, funnily enough, a group of identical twins moved into our neighborhood back then. And I was so shocked as a little 6-year-old Jack walking around with my mom. And these 2 women were walking towards us and they looked exactly the same. They were even wearing the same things. I'm like, Mom, do you see this too? I just couldn't comprehend it until it clicked. I was like, okay, so some people just look the same. There's a condition there where women get twins all the time, so that can happen. Oh, really? I did not know that.
I guess that also makes sense. I just thought it was really funny. In the end, I sat there for like, 5-10 minutes, just listening along. It's not often I walk into conversations like that.
And
it was normal, but
pretend
also...
to be calming, like cooling down, like after the workout while you're...
I think it was clear enough that I was listening along. But it was also not like they were having like a private conversation. They were in a locker room as well.
When I started to talk about their sex lives, you left.
I probably would have stayed for that.
Thank you for giving us... You could have just said, yeah, exactly, Jack, but...
But why? Of course!
Yeah, I mean...
Like, we all know I'd be lying if I said I'd leave.
Talking about leaving, hey Tifa, you know what never leaves us? Your amazing recaps. What happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2 Watanagashi? 2 weeks ago, here at My Favorite Letter is X.
While I think about that, first, my mom likes to tell the story of the time my brother went up to his friend's aunt, who is a twin, thinking it was his mom and was upset when she didn't recognize her. I mean, that is all stuff that can happen. I think you can also have a lot of fun with it.
Yes, or you can dramatically mess with somebody. But it is adorable.
Yeah, or that.
You've stalled long enough.
But okay, yeah, Higurashi. The last thing that happened 2 weeks ago is I know we were in a library, but I don't remember how we got there. I believe Shion called us to meet up.
Keiichi and Shion were hanging out for some reason. Anyway, they were hanging out and they went into Okinomiya and they went into the library there because Keiichi's mom asked him to please return the books that she had borrowed from the library. So he met up with Shion, because why wouldn't you? And they went into the library. When suddenly Ooishi-san appeared and started asking the same questions that Mion had asked earlier when she went all like, have you seen Tomitake-san?
Oh yeah,
do you know what happened during the Watanagashi festival? And it was all weird. Keiichi...
Before you continue, when Ooishi came in, Shion was all like, oh yeah, I have to go, bye. Which was also a cue for us to kind of leave, but we didn't take it, so we decided to stay there in the library and have this conversation.
To be fair, Shion went like, I have to go bye, and not like, we have to go bye.
That was obviously clear enough.
Ooishi-san very much questioned and cornered Keiichi. He dropped his spaghetti, as you do as a 15-year-old being cornered by the police. And Ooishi made it abundantly clear, spelling it out directly, that the Sonozaki family is Yakuza. And they are shady business and they are running things. Which made Keiichi angry because he was talking badly about his friends.
We lied about, well, we didn't lie, we just said we don't remember to everything he asked of us about the night of the Watanagashi.
At some point, chugging a whole cup of crushed ice so that we would have something in our mouth and he wouldn't hear the clattering of our teeth.
Before Oishi left though, he was like, hey dude, I know you're lying, you saw them, you broke into this place.
I saw you at the place.
No, I don't think he said I saw you, did he?
Yeah, he was there. That's what he said at least.
Well, it doesn't really matter. He did call us out on lying. He said he knew we met them. We went into the warehouse / temple place.
The forbidden place.
Basically.
Keiichi went home after that. When Shion called again in the evening and told him that Tomitake and Tomitake's girlfriend have been found dead. Tomitake once again has clawed out his own throat somehow, and the lady he was with, I keep forgetting her name. Yeah, I forgot. Mio, M-I-Y-O, Mio. She was found burned to a crisp in a barrel. Takano. Thank you, Dark
that was
Lord.
it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Why do we keep forgetting Takano?
Friday. How are you doing?
What he said.
I keep being confused about what a weekday is. Yeah, and when Shion tried to ask Keiichi about this, Keiichi had a whole breakdown about this because like, oh my god, no, don't ask me this question. What are you even doing? And she's like, no, I'm trying to have a conversation with you here. And that's it.
No. Shion also went into the, if there's 2 people murdered, then there might also get
2 people have to
go missing.
Yeah, true.
Which means the most logical choice would be us. And then we had a whole breakdown about this is not our fault and it's your fault and it's your fault,
you green-haired she-devil. You made me do the things. And I only did them because you made me do them. Because you're cute and you're kind of hot and I will do everything you lead me on to do because I can't think for myself and I have a penis and I'm 15 years old and full on in puberty.
Then
and
we had a whole fight.
Fault,
Shion hang up on us.
This made me cry for some reason.
For some reason we expected her to call back. She didn't. I remember all of that. And then in the tips, we were actually at the Sonozaki main house where Mion was talking with her grandmother about sending out
people to look for the mayor.
Who is the head of one of the big 3 houses.
Also something with a T, but I forgot the name.
Because he never returned.
Correct, because I guess the daughter or granddaughter of the mayor had also called Keiichi at the end of the episode.
Just to ask if he's been there.
To ask if maybe they have seen the guy, but clearly they hadn't.
Apparently he plays games with his dad.
Yeah, it was like chess or something. Go, probably. I forgot. Yes, exactly. And we learned in the tip that from the old Hinamizawa times, there is 3 big main families that still exist. It's the Sonozaki family, who used to be the least important, nowadays has become the most important one. The Furude family, which only has little Rika left, which is the shrine people. And then the most important family back then, but now the least important one, is the one that the mayor belongs to, whose name we forgot.
I have no clue anymore.
Toyoshiro, something like that.
But yeah, it seems like one of the missing people, if there indeed will be 2, is gonna be him.
Kimiyoshi, that's what it was. I remember the Yoshi part. Thank you.
But I don't remember that at all.
Yes, Kimiyoshi. Oh, and I also remember one other random detail. The matriarch of the Sonozaki family, Mion and Shion's grandmother, Oreo.
Oreo?
Oreo.
Oreo what?
That's her name.
Oh.
Not cookies. Tifa doesn't remember any of that.
Hey, excuse me, I remember the very big part that you forgot about.
I remember the very big part that you forgot about.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we make a team.
Oreo! I know that's not how I'm supposed to read it. It's no fault of yours, but whenever I see R followed by more than one E, I have to think of Ree. It's a sound people make sometimes. Or Ryu.
I'm gonna mention that every single time.
We have to.
Because I am still so shocked. You know, the re has been a thing.
We have
on the internet.
Seen somebody
written.
Actually do that, unironically.
And I never thought people actually make the re sound. But Ranger was once streaming, what was it, this pirate sort of game, Seas of Thief or something.
Sea of Thieves.
And some person came into his channel and was like, oh, I want to join. So he was like, okay, well, why not?
Ranger, being a nice, welcoming person, went like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't know much about the game, but cool, right? Like, if that's fine with you, we can play together.
So he started playing with this dude that just joined his stream, fully new. And I kid you not, at some point there is a blood curling through the mic.
The kid, I don't know anything about them other than that they were really annoying and frustrating
I'm not even gonna try to redo that.
To like play with. Ranger was trying his hardest, but despite being told, hey, I've just started playing this game, I know nothing and I'm just here to have fun, they were like the cliche super sweaty tryhard and like, oh my god, like also with like everything fit, like, oh my god, you have to do this item and you have to press this button, when and how do you know? I just told you, anyway, you get the idea. But at some point, like Tifa said, he got so frustrated, just randomly, Ranger does something and other person doesn't like it, and they go, wee!
But like mad, loud, and super like shrill.
And sometimes when I hold a seashell to my ear, I can still hear it.
I will never unhear that re. It's the first and only time I've ever heard someone re.
It's the first time I heard unironically.
But every time I see it or read it, I hear it. See, speak of the devil. We were just talking about that time.
Welcome in, Ranger.
You played Sea of Thieves and this dude started reeing at you.
How are you doing?
But every single time I hear the re in the back of my mind. I cannot unhear it. That was one of the best moments.
Only heard an ironic one with a Rick and Morty sauce incident. Yeah, I think I remember that video too. But no, that was completely unadulterated. Do you all remember this probably? The otakus from chapter 2 earlier with the wipey. That is 100% how I picture this person. And I'm sorry, maybe they just had a really bad day. I do not know them personally. I never followed up. I don't know them. But the way they carried themselves during that part of the stream.
No, I disagree with you on that. But it was more like... I can't tell, but I wouldn't imagine it like that.
In case you couldn't tell, I was trying to not get really mean. I have nothing positive to say. I was clinging on to hope.
And that's why I don't play online games.
First thing I do in every online game that has it, I start the game, I know it's an online kind of thing, I go to the audio settings, I turn off voice communication. Completely. I disable it.
Best to turn off.
If I feel even 1% unsure whether that is enough, I'll go into the Windows firmware, whatever settings, and I will disable all microphones. I don't need that. I'm not made for it. I am perfectly fine just playing by myself. Settings for Elden Ring, start offline. Yes.
Does Elden Ring have a voice?
I don't think it does.
Because I remember once playing or trying out like Fortnite and I had the microphone left on. That was like the worst thing ever. Like the stuff that comes through that, like no one needs to go through that at all.
I don't need to be yelled at by 11-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm good. Never played that kind of game unless you count Toontown back when I was little on the family PC.
Toontown? That doesn't ring a bell.
I know Toontown by the name. I never actually got to play it myself. It's one of those relics of time that has passed me by, I'm afraid. Yeah.
But yeah, reeing, I don't need that anymore. Did we ever clip that Ranger? Is there a clip of that? I don't remember.
We need to do a deep dive later into Ranger's channel to find out.
We do need to do a deep dive because I think this was like 2 years ago by now.
A deep dive.
This has to be at least like 2 years ago, and I can still hear him like it was last week.
The sound never dies.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Toontown was a Disney-adjacent MMO about fighting robots who steal fun. That sounds to me like the Transformer movies from Michael Bay. No?
I mean, hard to say. I never really watched.
Yes, you have. We've seen all of them.
I haven't seen all of them.
You have seen all of them
Have
because I've seen all of them. Yeah.
Well, I don't even remember seeing all of them. Say it like that. I think I've seen 1 and 2. Wasn't?
No, we've seen all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I think I've seen the Bumblebee.
We've also seen that one.
Yeah, that one I've definitely seen. Don't remember it, but I do remember Yellow.
It's old enough and it's very polygonal. Tifa's brain is protecting her from the trauma. Yeah, I mean, they have some qualities, but I wouldn't call them good movies.
Well, some movies you just watch for.
Basically, every time the humans talk, it's like, no, please stop. Just give me the. I like it when the one metal man fights the other metal man, and they do the things with their bodies so much that even if I don't blink, I cannot tell who is who. All I see is flashes and metal banging against each other, and it's like robot porn, except it's not sexual because I know they're fighting.
I feel like all the robot movies I do like never get a sequel, even though they're set up to get a sequel.
Yeah, like Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim was pretty good, and that never continued. And I forgot the name, the boxing one.
Real Steel.
Real Steel.
It also didn't need a sequel.
It was kind of set up as a sequel.
Good guys win, bad guys loses. Like,
it was definitely set up that they could make a sequel.
Yeah, but why would you?
I thought those were pretty good.
First Transformer movies gets a pass because the CGI was mind-blowing at the time. Yeah, CGI-wise, they're amazing. It's just everything else doesn't do it for me.
I need to rewatch those movies.
It was probably terrible. I was like 9. I remember having fun and being a purple cat, so that's all that matters. Yes, that is the right attitude in life. As long as you're having fun, that's the important part.
Exactly. Like some games are fun to go back to though. Like I remember playing Neopets and stuff as a kid, and I saw the website a while ago again. I was like, I'm gonna play Neopets again, and I was kind of lost. But I did remember some of the bits.
Neopets also went past me. I was still busy playing things on Game Boy back then, I think.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Revenge of the Fallen Squandered. Oh wait.
Racism and poor storytelling.
I thought Squandered was still part of the...
You know what isn't gonna squander things with racism and poor storytelling and robots doing the thing? Higurashi. Tifa, are you ready?
I am ready. Who says there's no robots in Higurashi? What if that's the plot twist?
That, depending on how they do it, it could be amazing.
What if Shion is a robot based on Vermeil?
Then she can be my robot waifu. Where have I put that save file?
Which chapter are we? Because
I want to
think
say it's this one.
Not end of chapter 7? Wait. You can see the date before you.
I think it's this one. Robo Shion. Rion, but not Rion, but, well, Robot Eon.
Weren't we at the end of a chapter? Which means it's not this one.
Okay.
But just check the dates. Go back to the one you had.
Can you tell that the way I saved the game
here,
was
end of
really
chapter
bad?
8, I think. That was...
Friday, 9:43. Yes, this sounds right.
Friday... I think that is our last one.
And... yeah, those are the tips we read.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tifa. Sorry for
welcome.
the reloading. Can't get out of that. Robot wife Luna's already taken, Jack. He's all yours. I'll have a robot Tifa, if anything. If it has to be a robot. Otherwise, I'll just stick with this Tifa. What do you... Oh, you... That so didn't feel like she was doing with a robot. I didn't even acknowledge it.
I'm not very good at it either.
Are characters a spoiler for P3R?
I want to say no.
I know which one you're talking about, and no, because that one is very clearly a robot. Like, the original game has been out for well over 10 years. Second, this character looks like a robot. And
Acts like a robot?
Yeah, that too. They also use them in like marketing materials. So no. Currently dating robot in a game, so I'm here for it. Enjoy.
And that's the future, isn't it?
How do you pronounce her name in English? Everyone can tell. Aegis is a robot by looking at her. Yeah, she does look 100% robot. Is it Aegis? Is it Aegis? No, Dark Lord, I will not be saying it like that. That's a great way to get pink eyeball. I saw all the memes, so she's a toaster.
Multifunctional.
I will stick to the way I pronounce it and just pretend that's the correct way. Until there's an anime or something that proves me wrong. I'm right. Talking about Aegis, there was no way I'd be able to sleep. Jack, there is an anime. You just had to call me out like that, didn't you? I mean, thank you, first of all, for telling me. I genuinely didn't.
So now you need to watch it.
And the game is voiced. I forgot. Honestly, I forgot. Get yourself a wife who can make you toast. Tifa makes a mean toast.
You never... I always make my toast too light for you.
Yeah, but it's not bad. Oh my god, can you take the compliment?
Like, I like my toast super light, like barely brown.
If your toaster breaks, you can make toast for Tifa in the following way. You take the slice of bread and you deeply inhale, you hold your breath.
I think that's soggy.
And then you give it to her. That's how Tifa toasts her toast. It's just barely warm. I'm not saying I've made toast for you like that before.
Yeah, I'm not eating toast that you made anymore.
Like for memes like Aegis is the toaster that evolved from an original OP sounds like it says burn my bread. That is true. The original like opening song is a banger.
So she's British.
Can be. What do you put on your toast, Jack? Whatever I have laying around, honestly. I'm not picky. I like peanut butter and marmalade. I don't really like the texture of jelly, but functionally it's the same thing.
On toast, just marmalade's really nice, but the toast still has to be warm for that.
Nah.
Nothing better than warm toast, isn't there? Or warm bread in general.
Well, there's getting a good night's sleep, but not for Keiichi. When she hung up the phone like that, I realized for the first time what kind of situation I was in, as well as who the only ally who would support me was. I waited with bated breath for Shion to calm down and call me back. What would I do if a phone rang while I was sound asleep? No matter how long I waited, however, it never rang. Exhausted, whenever my mind started to wander, I would jolt awake as though I heard the phone ring. In the end, I brought the cordless phone with me into my futon and went to sleep with it in my arms. I was waiting for you to blow a gasket again about there being a phone in the screen.
Yeah, and that phone cannot be cordless. I'm just saying, like, that is not the one where you can do that.
Let me hold a piece of paper up so you can't see it. Better? Is this a more enjoyable experience for you now?
Much better, but I'm actually looking at the clock without hands.
Though it still didn't amount to anything. Morning came and by that time I was pretty sure she wasn't calling back. That was when a fierce drowsiness assailed me. Damn it. This is no time for sleep, Keiichi Maebara. I slapped myself in the face a few times. I will not do that because I don't like it.
The cord is just off screen. That
Exactly.
cannot be off screen. Like, there is no place. Like, I'm willing to
Tifa.
to zone in on that
No.
and show you all the places where the cord can be. But there's like no space for it to be off screen.
Yes, that's the point. It's a cordless phone.
That one is not the cordless one.
Yes, it is.
That one can absolutely not be the cordless one.
Yeah, but you say you can't see a cord, so clearly this one is by your own admission.
I'm
cordless.
pretty sure that model will not be cordless.
And as Groundhog is pointing out, the clock doesn't have hands because time isn't real. Which seems to actually be the case in this game. I'm just saying.
That is very true. I mean, we have been waiting 2 weeks just for the phone call that never came.
Then I went to the washroom and washed my face, which was something I usually didn't do. He usually doesn't wash just his face, right? Is what he's trying to say. Because if he never washes his face...
In the evening or something, I guess.
Okay. That wasn't enough either, so I even brushed my teeth. After that I was finally wide awake. What do they put in their toothpaste? You good?
I need that toothpaste, I guess.
Like, he washes his face off after deciding slapping himself will wake him up. I mean, fair is fair, slapping your face is faster than going to a different room and washing your face.
Yeah, because then you can just go.
I don't think it was those kind of slaps.
I mean, it did work, but still.
I
never, people go like to themselves.
I just caught myself wanting to ask you if I should slap your face to wake you up, but then I realized that's not good. What? I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. That face was 50% tired, 50% you just bit into a lemon, and 50% you have been constipated for a week and it's finally happening.
I was stifling a yawn.
Stifling.
That's what I said. Sorry, got distracted by Olivia showing off the lollipop she got from the vaccine clinic. Aww.
That's so sweet.
Purple tastes best. Yes.
It does.
The purple, red or pink ones, because that usually means it's like a fruit flavor and those are the nicest. Always go for what could be berry.
It's 150%, Jack. Yes, and?
And 100% concentrated power and will. There was a lot of will in that.
I thought Mina needs to make a comeback. When Mom saw how Stranger was acting, her eyes went wide.
What's wrong, Keiichi? Are you going somewhere today?
How is he acting weird by washing his face and brushing his teeth in the morning? Those aren't exactly... I mean, fair enough. If your kid has never done that before, then fair. Yeah, no, I'm overthinking. Yeah. To school.
Why are we asking that? Is this a normal school day?
That was a wild transition. I slap my face, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. My mom goes, "Are you okay? Where you going?" "To school." Poof, school.
Oh, you kind of went through all of that in like a rap lyric sort of thing. Went to school with my mom. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'll drop you another fat beat.
No, I already lost it. It's too late.
I can't do it.
Keiichi-kun, you don't look so good today. Do you have a cold?
I'm not sick, I just didn't get much sleep. If I space out and start talking nonsense, just humor me. I'm Keiichi.
I wonder what kind of nonsense you'll say. I wonder. Now I'm looking forward to it.
I felt utterly shattered and I still hadn't picked myself back up this morning. And for precisely that reason, Reina's honest smile was a sight for sore eyes.
Yo.
Yo. Yo.
What's up, Kei-chan and Reina?
Okay, now do that line again the way it's meant to be read, please.
Wow. What's up, Kei-chan? Reina? Good morning.
One of my cats got confused by the bird noises. You will hear that plenty. Sorry, Groundhog's cats. Now do the whole scene again in German. Yo. There you go. It's the same thing.
What's up, Digger? I think that's the best way to... Germanify it.
Was geht ab? Was geht ab?
Yeah, but you can also just say what's up. I feel like if you add Digga to the end of everything, it already turns more German.
I was petting her and she looked at the laptop in confusion. That's so sweet. Forward with a goat, yes, we should get going. One her rest starts to rest. Yes, but Tifa keeps me from pressing A.
What? Mi-chan, you look like you didn't get much sleep either.
Mion had gone home early yesterday with a hangover, but she didn't look too good this morning either. Her usual cheerfulness was completely buried in shadow.
Yeah. I went to bed at like 3. I'm a little tired.
A little. 3 right after yesterday. Hey, now, you can't keep staying up late. You probably read the first volume of a manga, thought it was interesting, then read the entire series, didn't you? I understand I've done that before. I joked trying to shake off my sleepiness. I was trying to be considerate. But neither Mion nor Reina smiled. In fact, they didn't even pay attention. Yeah, it's probably because she was in the search troop for the mayor.
Probably.
I just yell 9 when I feel like being German. It's a start.
I can just see you walking around the house.
9!
9!
Reina's expression immediately darkened.
What? Wait, is it about the mayor? He still hasn't been found? Nope.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you talking about? You can't find the mayor? Even the classroom, which was normally bursting with bright, joking voices, seemed filled with a different sort of murmur today. And bird sounds, still.
Good morning, Keiichi-san. Have you heard? It looks like something terrible has happened.
I know the sound effect sold us on this, but this is exactly the same face she pulls when she put like thumbtacks under your feet or something. That's her impish like attitude.
No.
Well, Jack, the bird's in education too. And that's why we should actually play through all of Heartful Boyfriend at some time. I don't really know this mayor person, but he's an old guy, right? Couldn't he just be wandering around senile? Why are you such a dick, Keiichi?
The mayor certainly is not senile. He's a sprightly man who can teach both calligraphy and swordsmanship.
I'll take it.
Calligraphy and swordsmanship.
He's
It's fine
fine.
because Satoko is small.
Exactly.
Hello, Rix. Happy Friday.
Riggs,
How
how
are
are
you
you doing?
doing? Birds are. Yes, they are. Real.
Maybe I should read the line first before I try to say things. He probably got lost somewhere, like me. Calligraphy.
It's when you've already played through all of calligraphy and you've mastered and you got bored. You know, when you make calligraphy.
I am a master of the arts.
I mean, where you make like colleges out of like calligraphy, and there's lag, so it's like super hard because you do it online with a bad connection.
Yeah. I was reading as I went.
A warrior should also be an artist. Some Greek philosopher, probably. Yeah, I mean, what's hotter than the guy that can princess carry you everywhere and then also whisper endless sweet nothingness into your ears as he ponders the infinite wisdoms of the universe with you?
While he snaps you.
Imagine that as this person like twirls their beard, the philosopher's beard or something.
My warrior friends eat crayons. So close enough.
My favorite flavor is red.
I like blue. I lost Rika? Oh, I want to take you home with me.
Well, you had your chance, you didn't use it.
Oh, sure.
Getting lost is only cute because children like Rika-chan do it.
Yeah, don't you love cute lost children?
No! Lost children are not cute. Cute does not factor into that at all. That's dangerous.
You know, they're usually walking around and crying. Like
Ages.
like
Yes.
the kid at Legoland. We could have taken him home.
We told the story when we went to Denmark. We went to
I don't
Legoland
remember, actually.
for one day, and there was when we were just about to leave, this young kid, maybe like 5 or 6, came out of a store crying, and then Tifa, of course, went over to the kid like, "Hey, are you okay?" "No, I lost my dad." Thankfully,
was
the
kinda
dad was
sad.
like right behind the kid. They found him in like 30 seconds flat. But there was nothing cute about that. It's sad. It's a scary situation for everybody.
I always think it's kind of funny in theme parks when kids are walking around crying, especially younger ones. No one goes up to them. And usually, if I do, it's a lost kid. Like every time you go, there's
Tifa-
always one lost
Tifa has
kid
a
that you
radar for
will
lost
find.
kids. That's true.
But yeah, with this one, he came crying out of the store.
Yeah, out of a souvenir store. So it's like, do you know how many crying kids will come out of that store on that day?
So I grabbed him, went back in the store. I was just going to
You
ask the staff.
approached him, you did not grab him.
Yeah, but then we hold his hand. and I
Tifa
brought
loves
him-
kids crying. God.
And I brought him back in the store. And like the moment we stepped back in, his dad came.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, my kid. Oh, there's my kid. Thank you so much. Like, the whole scene literally took just like 30 seconds from start to finish. But
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because I asked the kid too, like, where did you last see your parents? And he was like, in the store. Like, he just came out of the
so
store.
let's go back inside, man. I mean, but fair is fair to us. Like the logic sounds funny,
Yeah,
but
he
to
was
the
in a
kid,
panic.
like there's like 400 people in the store, and suddenly you don't see your parents anymore, and then you freak out. Like the kid did the right thing; they were looking for help, and they got it. So
Yeah, I
Kudos
mean,
to
he
the
was
kid.
in a panic, but still, it's really funny. It's like, Jack was right here. Oh no, where's Jack? I'll go there.
oh god, where's Tifa? No. Oh, thank you.
I know, right?
And now I feel safer.
No, I had to think of that kid.
Very helpful, Tifa. Actually,
Tifa loves kids crying. Got it.
don't know what to say. Tifa wasn't doing it to lure children into her baking. She's not a witch from old German fairy tales.
Too many people.
Meanwhile, a one-eyed old man getting lost isn't moe in the slightest. You prick, Keiichi. While my mind entertained dumb thoughts like that, our teacher arrived. Everyone rushed to their seats. To go drive my grandmother to a doctor's appointment, she didn't make sure she had someone to drive her to, and she's already late. Bye. Groundhog,
See you
have a
later.
safe drive. Say hi to your grandma from us. We're happy, not having migraines too many, hopefully. All the best. All of that. Bye.
Look, it has calligraphy on the wall.
Calligraphy.
Calligraphy. Good morning, everyone.
Run it again.
Good morning, everyone.
Why did they make that its own line? Like I had to press a button to
Get
Everyone?
the everyone.
hope Omar Hogg is doing right. I know it's completely innocent, but it just reads funny to me like that.
It works.
Good morning. The class greeting was normal, but the atmosphere in the room was heavy.
Some of you may have already heard, but last night, despite the late hour, the mayor never came home. Is there anyone here who saw the mayor yesterday?
One or two hands went up in the silence, and they told her about having seen him. None of it seemed to be vital information, however, and everyone began whispering amongst themselves.
If anyone has seen the mayor, please tell an adult about it, alright?
Just not me, because I'm busy.
Now then, let's begin class. I also like how everyone knows what the mayor looks like, considering people in this class are between 8 and 18.
Yes, but we are the only outsider in the class, and it's been established multiple times over that Hinamizawa is a very tight-knit community.
Yeah, everyone knows one another, but
Yeah.
if back then when I was in school someone came like, oh, the mayor never came home, it's like,
We have a mayor?
like who is this?
Who is he, she, they? I don't know. After that, the same old lessons began. I don't know what our mayor looks like now.
I mean, same.
I hope they're doing well. But oh, what they do, honestly. Same. The rumors, once quieted, blossomed in flowers again at lunchtime. I could hear a few different conversations. were mostly related to the mayor's disappearance. Summing them all up, I came out with this. Yesterday evening, the mayor went to a meeting at the shrine's assembly hall. The meeting ended after the sun had fully set and everyone left. The elder's house was a bit far from the center of Hinamizawa. It was already late and Hinamizawa doesn't have a lot of lights outside. Nobody saw the mayor after the meeting. However, because he would have been hungry, he wouldn't have taken any side trips, he would have gone straight home. However, no matter how long his family waited, he never returned. I like how the reason why they believe he would go straight from the assembly hall to home is because he would have been hungry.
I think that's a valid reason.
Did we not have snacks in 1980s Japan? Could he not have eaten anything at the assembly hall?
If I ate something at the assembly hall, I think that would have been mentioned.
Redeem translate for me. It's burrito time. Es ist Burrito-Zeit. Enjoy, Ranger.
I haven't had burritos in so long.
And since Tifa doesn't do the Dutch one, het is Burrito-Tijd. There you go.
Tight. Other than that, great.
Yeah, tight.
Better.
Yeah, tight.
Tight.
I said that.
Yeah, that's why I said better.
Some thought there might have been an accident. They left no stone unturned. They searched from the irrigation channels to the water wells and even in the rice paddies, but they didn't find them.
They checked the swamp.
They should have. Of course, there was a limit to how far they could search in the middle of the night. The police were going to wait for daylight, then have the young men of the town help search. If, after all that, they still didn't find him, they were apparently even going to looking in the mountains.
Can eat a burrito in a minute or so.
Ooh.
Everyone's having burritos.
Where's our burrito? Did you all bring enough to share with everyone?
Since when did we have that, Redeem? We used to have that for a while.
Did we disable it?
I think it's disabled, yeah.
We did have a redeem for that. We can re-enable it. It barely gets used. And sometimes funny people, Ranger, come in with wild requests. Mom says it's my turn to have a burrito. I'm gonna use that the next time I go to a burrito place.
Mom said I can have 2 burritos.
For free. Gimme.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Free burritos? Yes. Even now, at this moment, the adults were probably all searching for him. The more they searched in vain, the more time passed. The only thing that came to mind was the curse. The rumors of Onikakushi, of the demoning away. Had he become this year's sacrifice to Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had recently been occurring every year? That scary possibility, which everybody thought about but nobody could say aloud, was slowly but surely spreading throughout the village. Was he demoned away and offered as a sacrifice to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger? My classmates were whispering to each other that the curse didn't happen this year, so there shouldn't have been any sacrifices. I, on the other hand, I knew. The curse did happen again this year, and there were 2 people that died. This may sound strange, but I hadn't exactly thought the elder would be the one to go missing. My reason was clear. Shion and I should have been higher priority than him. The four of us were thieves that broke the taboo and set foot into the sacred ritual storehouse. Not thieves, trespassers. Or did Takano actually take something long?
No. She only took pictures. I was thinking the same thing. But she went back in, took some pictures. They didn't want anything to be missing.
You know what's kind of poetic?
What?
That we're in this situation because Takano couldn't take a no for an answer when it came to going into that room. Come on, that was a good one. It's cultural theft. Yeah, I guess. 6 out of 10? Yeah. Not the best, but I'll take it. 6 out of 9? See? That's high already. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had suffered mysterious deaths, then it should have been Mai and Shion's turn next. This time it should have been Shion and me. Eh? I laughed painfully to myself. I'd yelled at Shun over the phone that I didn't want to end up in such a terrifying situation, but now that someone other than me had disappeared, I could only think that I should have been the first to go. Onigafuchi, the bottomless swamp, said to have been the place where they drowned sacrifices long ago. Just as it ran through my thoughts, the villagers must have also considered the swamp. Maybe police divers were plumbing its depths even now. Can you really dive into a swamp? Because I don't think I've ever seen a swamp being searched. Like, around it, yes. But
You can
into it, no.
go through a swamp.
Yes. But my understanding of this one in particular is that it's basically like a quicksand hole in the ground.
I mean, yeah, but you can also
It's
check
not like
that.
infinitely large. It's not like you walk through a swampy area. I figured that it's basically like a hole in the ground, except it doesn't look like a hole because there's swamp. But if you step into it, you just slowly sink down.
Yeah, but with quicksand, it will only get to a certain point. I know in the game it said it's meant to be bottomless.
I'll take Rainier's word for it. Oh, buddy, you can fucking sink through a swamp like nothing. Fuck Florida. Is all of Florida a swamp? I do not know.
Because
Can't be, right? Because Disney World and stuff as well.
Because quicksand has a limit, and it will. I want to say with an adult, like max probably around to like your waist, and if you just like lay flat, you'll start floating.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that.
For legal reasons, this is not survival advice. Use it at your own risk. It's hard to search if it's bottomless. That is also very true. Yeah. Quicksand displaced you in the sand because it has no general bottom, but your buoyancy offsets. Okay, fair. The problem is you get stuck in quicksand and then starve. Swamps, that's just a wet hole.
It's probably
Fair.
better to be stuck in quicksand than sink through a swamp.
Yeah. That's not a nice way to go.
Yeah. But here, our quicksand hole is bottomless.
It's not quicksand, it's a swamp.
No, we have quicksand in here, which is basically hell's anus because
It's a swamp.
the booty hole to hell, and it goes both ways.
Why did you have to use those words to
We've
say
already
these things?
established that.
Yeah, but it's about... I'm on about your use of words.
What, booty hole?
Also, because now Tifa triggered this in me, if you think about it, at any point your lips and your anus form a direct line. Think about that for a moment.
A direct line?
Yeah.
How do I need to think about this?
It's like two ends of a rope, basically, but...
Oh, like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of weird if you think about it. We were tied to... Ranger, why do I not think I want to read that? We were tied to ropes trying to cross rivers and swamps, and I never experienced misery like that. Cold, wet, muddy. That's why I'm shut in. Fair enough, I would do the same thing for me.
Had more outdoors than I needed in my life. Yeah, I 100% believe you there.
No way you're convincing me of joining a human centipede. I'm saying you yourself are kind of, well, half of one.
Well, you're the start, aren't you?
Yeah. Fun fact, every embryo starts out as an asshole, the rest comes later. And some people never evolve past that. Clearly. It's wetter than quicksand, everything is collected by your skin. That is also very true. And yeah. Jack is very charismatic. I tried to be. They probably wouldn't find anyone. Not a single missing person had ever been found. I'd always suspected Onigafuchi, but not once have I ever turned up a corpse from it. And after all, it was a devilish bottomless swamp from which no one who sinks can ever return. I could hear someone telling their friend that in the classroom.
So wait, wasn't it? No, it is now mentioned as swamp, but then where does the quicksand come in? Only one bit? Was there even quicksand?
No, never. That was 100% your imagination.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Because
not sure why.
You have a boner for quicksand, and I don't know why.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. At every possible time we can talk about quicksand, you bring up quicksand.
But if we talk about quicksand, I don't need to bring it up.
But we didn't talk about quicksand.
Someone mentioned quicksand. It wasn't me.
It has to be Psycho again. I could scroll up, but then we see the login and I don't care for it.
No, but I thought people get sacrificed and put in the quicksand and then slowly sink and drown. But it's a swamp.
Tifa, welcome to Higurashi. It's a swamp.
That's why I'm saying I don't know why I had quicksand in my mind. That was the whole thing.
I'm gonna get a breathalyzer test for Tifa because there is no reason for her to think this.
I suddenly feel better about my short-term memory loss. Oh, my mind is a mess.
You get hung up on the weirdest stuff. I know, why does she do that?
Well, that's not me. You go like, oh, you keep mentioning quicksand. But the only reason I mentioned quicksand is because quicksand was already mentioned. And I thought the quicksand was also mentioned in game. But obviously it was not mentioned
You're Mandela affecting, gaslighting the world. You
Psycho started this. So I just kept going about it.
Editor replaces with a shifting Sandsland music. I have a great way to end this conversation about quicksand. Now that you mention it, Satoshi-san, he left around this time last year, didn't he? Huh? Satoshi? I've heard that name before.
That was the brother, right?
He disappeared because of last year's curse. The conversation was happening in the seat next to me, so I could hear it clearly. Didn't we search the whole village like this for Satoshi-san too?
Isn't this the same young boy?
That's another young boy.
We didn't find him either. What did we decide what was?
What was?
That was a demoning away, right?
Yeah. I heard he withdrew all his savings and ran away from home. Someone from the police said there was someone who saw him get on the bullet train at Nagoya Station. Is that something that young kids in Japan can just do? Get on a high-speed train? Just like that?
I don't believe he was young.
Yeah, fair enough. A 12-year-old or whatever traveling by themselves is not unheard of.
Quite sure he was a bit older, but still.
Oh well.
It's not unheard of.
It's basically the two boys we always see. Not sure why it's not just them, honestly. Because that way I don't have to remember the voice I gave them.
Thank you, Fallout, for making me listen to old music. The series or the game?
Both. Because the series used music, they also used it in the game.
Because I don't remember the lyrics from that song in the series.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Never mind. I do remember that.
I shouldn't be singing, but...
I do remember it, never mind.
Ran away, huh? I wasn't that interested in the reason, which seemed understandable in this case. Wait, what? What? What reason is understandable? Apparently a kid from school withdrew all the money that they could find and got on a train to leave.
Well, everyone else had their reasons, so probably the kid too.
Oh, I should have just kept going, huh? Sorry, that's on me. Everyone else who disappeared had their own reasons too. Either they were still on the run because they were criminals, or they were corpses that couldn't be found. I guess. It's not like any of them suddenly disappeared into thin air for no reason, but they disappeared. Someone disappeared whenever the curse took a life, as if by design. They may have had various understandable reasons, but they still disappeared. From that point of view, it really might have been demoning away this time. The May's disappearance was the first such incident without a clear reason behind it. Of course, coming to that realization didn't help to resolve anything. Oh, suddenly Reina jump scare.
It looks like I messed up the seasoning today. Sorry.
Normally, Reina's lunch would have been devoured immediately, but today there was still a ton left. That wasn't because Reina's lunch didn't taste good or anything, though.
That isn't the case. Your lunch today is as delicious as always.
I also like to get very close to people that I talk to.
Stop getting my glasses dirty.
Hey Tifa, what are we having for lunch tomorrow? You don't know yet?
No.
Okay, can we think about it later together? Can we brainstorm lunch like this? Then I added extra adobo. Apparently, But of course, it's because we're all sad, which makes sense. Satoko dips her chopsticks into Reina's bento box and pulls bits of food out one after the other.
Yes, delicious indeed. Today in particular, in fact.
That's the only way Eli knows how to talk to me. I mean, fair is fair. At least you don't have to wonder who the people are addressing when they talk to you like this.
Literally face to face. I mean,
It's kind of cute.
at least you'll hear him.
Hmm.
You know those are pumpkin croquettes, right? That sounds so good. Are you okay?
I want that in my stomach right now. I mean, in my mouth, so I can taste it, but...
That seems so good.
Yeah.
Yes. If it's your pumpkin, then it's delicious.
Let's totally not take that out of context.
That's a line you can write.
I'm guessing she hates pumpkin.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the heat, maybe it's my Friday brain, but part of me really wants to go on a deep dive on the internet and look up all the
Pumpkin croquettes.
unsavory fan art of Higurashi and see if a line, if it's your pumpkin, then it's delicious, has been reused in that, because that
You
has to be a
can let
thing.
us know.
Press R! Did Satoko dislike pumpkin? Regardless, she forced herself to smile and shoved more into her mouth.
I really love pumpkin.
Same.
And I never really started eating it until like a few years ago, and I feel like I missed out all of my life.
Yeah. Japanese pumpkin, like most pumpkins, is a form of squash. I think I would love it.
So tasty.
Everyone knew. Nobody's lunch tasted very good today. Satoko kept shoveling it down, repeating her remark on how good it was.
That would be me.
If it's that good, then I guess I gotta have some too. Satoko's gonna eat it all if we let her.
There's nothing that will get on my stomach.
It's just so good. I would certainly like it if Keiichi-san were to eat some as well.
That is the kindest way I've ever seen somebody say, please take some, I don't like it. Well, sometimes I have to show my adult generosity, right? Okay, don't hold back on my account. Eat enough for the both of us today. She really, really hated pumpkin, didn't she?
Why doesn't she eat some of the other stuff?
Maybe it's all pumpkin croquettes.
Or that.
Why would Reina make pumpkin croquettes if she knows that Satoko doesn't like them?
That's why I don't think that's the only thing on there.
That made it all the more touching to see Satoko's own brand of generosity. I grabbed her head and started stroking it. Grabbed her head and started stroking. Satoko, in a somewhat exaggerated fashion, was bawling, tears streaming down her face. No way! You'll never grow up if you give away such good food. Reina, you eat too. I only have leftover vegetable stew, but it tastes great after having sat overnight.
Yeah. The daikon radish has such a pretty color going through it. It looks delicious. I guess I'll have some then.
Reina reached out with her chopsticks, and at last the usual lunchtime atmosphere began to return. That was only at our desks, however. The dark tales of Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had recurred for 5 years in a row, didn't cease. The whole classroom remained stuck in this somber mood. How about we curse ourselves with a short break, in which we ponder that we do not have pumpkin croquettes to eat.
That sounds like a good plan. BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
We are. And it is now exactly the perfect sleeping temperature in this room. I walked outside for a moment because I tried to get some air and stretch my legs for a second, and I've re-entered this room, and I can tell you, if I now laid down flat and closed my eyes, I'd be out like a light.
It just makes you very drowsy.
Did that wake you up?
Not enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
Should have said yes. Oyashiro-sama's curse had happened for 5 years straight. Everyone had wanted the previous year to be the last. What was Oyashiro-sama's curse anyway? They were going to build a dam in Hinamizawa. The people building it were bad. So they were cursed. I would admit that much. Still, the dam project was frozen years ago, wasn't it? So why was the curse stubbornly persisting?
Frozen is not cancelled.
Are they making a Frozen 3?
They are actually.
Really? That's disgusting. For real?
I'm pretty sure they are.
Ugh.
We very quickly double check that.
I mean, I hope it's gonna be good, but I don't
Frozen
think
2 wasn't too bad.
Also, Keiichi raises a really good point. Why is this happening? Like, using Oyashiro-sama and the curse and the weird cannibalistic rituals that Hinamizawa has historically had as a backdrop for the original murder of the dam construction worker, that I can understand. But why does it keep happening? I'm guessing it's all still related to that dam construction somehow.
To still answer your question, Frozen 3 will be released in beginning 2026.
Disney has said that, or fan theory?
No, Disney.
They're gonna make it FORZ3N, right?
I mean, they can keep going with stories. Besides, with how much money Frozen has made them, there's no way they would stop.
I guess that's why the curse was stubbornly persisting. I hit myself on the cheeks to perk myself back up. Everyone was trying so hard to brighten the mood. I couldn't go straight back to thinking about the curse like that. I forced the grim story out of my head. Driving Oyashiro-sama's curse out of my thoughts was actually a good idea. In the end, that meant I would also be driving away the most terrifying thought of all, that I could be the curse's next target. Yeah, Keiichi, you know when you're sad and depressed and you're having like an existential crisis? Just don't think about it. Easy. Mion's taking a while, isn't she? How long does it take to wash your hands? Mion had said she was going to wash her hands and left, and she hadn't come back yet.
Oh, that's not bad.
She's probably taking a little afternoon nap somewhere. I think she was up pretty late last night looking for the mayor after all.
She's standing in the ladies' room, still the water running, her hands in the sink but tilted forward, with her head against like the wall, fallen asleep.
I mean, that could happen. Also, why is everyone in such a close-up?
I do not know why.
Have we had that
cannot tell you.
before? During lunch talks?
No. But that's something that's only been done in chapter 2, I want to say. In chapter 1, we had everybody at the regular distance, and they came up really close when it was to be creepy.
Yeah, kinda.
I smiled wryly and let out a sigh. Today wasn't no good. However much we tried to lighten up the mood, things always came back to the mayor. It was just a no good day. I had just transferred here recently, so the shock of a curse happening 5 years running was an unimaginably big one. Maybe I do need to appreciate that. Time to watch Olivia play Spider-Man 2. Have a great stream.
Oh, nice.
I hope she's gonna have a blast, and so do you. Have a great evening.
Have fun and say hi to Olivia from us.
And Callie, and everybody else.
And everyone else, of course.
When Michan was really little, the mayor would always spoil her. When she was going through her prankster phase, he loved her like his own daughter. She's told me that often.
Could he actually be the grandfather?
Don't think so.
I see. Mion was in shock too. Someone disappearing at all because of a curse was a very scary thing. If the sacrifice was someone you knew, though, then the shock must be 100 times worse.
I think it's just like a head of family connection sort of thing.
Yeah. Satoko, as if she'd come to the same conclusion, bit her lower lip and looked downward. Oh, Rika-chan is taking a while too. Maybe they're taking a nice afternoon nap together?
Rika wasn't out that late. As soon as she yawned, everyone gathered around her and started saying good night, good night.
Now that you mention it, there were a lot of people rubbing their prayer beads in fervent gratitude towards Rika-chan during the festival too. An image of the indulgent elderly came to mind. Had Rika-chan discovered a way to get herself to be pampered like that? Is there a reason the old people treat Rika-chan like an idol? Is she their ideal image of a granddaughter or something? The power of moe.
I don't know anything about that.
Suddenly, energetic music.
But I want to see Rika-chan yawning.
Give us your best Rika-chan yawning impression, but make it moe. Okay, I'll take that. That was pretty cute. I usually, if I full on yawn, it looks more like a hippo trying to open its maws for like a watermelon or something.
Depends on the yawn.
There we go.
It's probably all like, why? Oh, I want to take her home.
I'm not gonna ask if there is a fetish watching people yawn, but rather, what is the name of the fetish when you like watching people yawn? Tifa, don't Google that.
I'm gonna Google that.
It was a rhetorical question.
No, I'm Googling that already.
Please incognito mode at least.
No, I'm still logged in on your account. Okay, stuff does show up, but this is like fan fiction about yawn fetishes. That's just...
The things Google is suggesting are wild.
The further questions is kind of weird, because the first one
Wait.
just...
No. Try this yourself, maybe it will vary for you. Tifa entered into the Google search. Fetish where you like watching people yawn. And then the first hit is something I'm not gonna read out. But then underneath that is Google's people also asked. And Tifa, would you please do us the honor of reading those out? This is Google, this is not us.
The first one. Why do you yawn when you watch someone else yawn?
Fair question.
Fair question.
Now comes the next one, and that one is already something.
Do autistic people yawn when other people yawn? So if you yawn and I yawn, that's how you diagnose, right?
I do not know. I'm also not particularly interested in knowing that because that's so inconsequential.
Funnily enough, I just clicked on the answer and it says if you're diagnosed with ASD and you're on the spectrum, there's actually a reduced susceptibility to contagious yawning.
Okay.
If that is correct, that is kind of interesting actually.
Great to know.
And then it goes on to why do I yawn when I look at someone? Okay, but every time you look at someone, it's like yawning.
Do narcissists yawn when others yawn? Well, clearly no, because Tifa isn't affecting me.
Do people yawn around people they like?
Let me help her really quick.
With the exception of the first one, sometimes I always wonder, like, are these actual questions people put in?
Jack, if you don't want Tifa to rule something, don't mention it in the first place. Yeah, but how do I not speak then? Like, you have a point and you are 100% correct, but that makes my life very hard. I just closed the tab for her.
Yeah, but you want to know the answer to these questions.
Do I?
Well, I do. That's why I Google it.
This is how Tifa falls down the rabbit hole.
That's kind of how it works.
Well, Satoko?
I don't personally think it's that cute. It's more of a wah, and she opens her mouth really wide so you can see the back of her throat.
It could be really cute too. Like a wah.
Rika-chan's giant yawn?
I don't think it's so much the how she does it that's cute, it's the fact that she does it that's cute.
Yeah, it's like...
You didn't unhinge your jaw. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
how are you doing this? You just
sometimes-
keep going right now. What the fuck?
Because I'm looking at people. But like sometimes when you have such a big yawn that your jaw sort of like locks
Yeah, I hate
and
that.
it hurts. Oh, I hate those.
Is Tifa a honk shoe type of sleeper or honk me 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 me? Honk me 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 honk mini Minizawa actually.
No, I'm not
It's
a
the
honk
latter.
me.
True fact though, sometimes, nowadays very rarely, but when we first got together she used to do it more. Tifa sometimes talks in her sleep, and when you start talking back to her and she replies, she starts talking about strawberries. And I cannot tell you why. Once I observed her laying there, I'm like, are you awake? Something bothering you? And he's like, strawberries. Like, did you say strawberries?
Strawberries always bother me.
Strawberries. I'm like, do you want us to buy strawberries? Strawberries. And she like does this super dramatic like turn and like twist her body in a pretzel.
Strawberry.
Yeah. If somebody can explain to us what exactly that means, then please. How would you know, Tifa? Exactly.
I mean, that is true, but I don't feel like a me-me-me-meer.
You are Mimi Mia.
I don't feel like a me-me-meer. So I would say a honk shoe type.
Imagine the HR person with Rika on top and someone else on the bottom. About yawning, yeah. Or anything, really. Reina's handy at times like these. I finally managed a heartfelt laugh. Oh, right. I'm on day duty today, aren't I? I need to go water the flower garden. The garden is right outside the teacher's lounge too, so they can immediately tell if you don't do it, right?
I think Satoko-chan is cute. Not only Rika-chan. Giant yawn.
Yeah.
Can't breathe. Oh, I got a glimpse. It was so cute. Satoko-chan's cute too. I'm gonna take you home.
Reina was strangling Satoko. I don't think that counts as yawning.
Show me the back of your mouth.
I like how she went full throttle there. You know, she could have just pretended to be grabbing my throat. No, she actually went for it. I mean, not hard, of course, but...
Well, you didn't open your mouth.
You know, Reina is... I can't say it out loud, but she's notorious. Isn't she?
What would the censored be there?
Lolicon.
Why would that be censored?
Because it implies something that will most likely end up in an illegal activity.
Is it illegal if they're the same age?
They are not the same age.
Oh! I completely forgot! During our... You know exactly where I'm going.
I hate Higurashi. I hate Higurashi
You know
so
exactly where I'm going. During our vacation...
Tifa, please stop.
No.
Please.
I kid you not. If you remember the whole scene in the restaurant where we were like, oh no, these people are
Underage.
underage and they're like acting as perverts and this is not legal and all of that because she's 16. During our vacation, I learned the age of consent in Germany. Does anyone want to make a guess?
And not me, you made
any
a
guesses?
whole thing about it. I was there.
Because we were making fun of we were making fun of this whole situation.
Yes, as
and
we
the
should.
whole I mean, yes, I still agree, as we should. And the whole, like, this should not be acceptable. But the legal age of consent in Germany is 14. I thought that was kind of shocking.
I also thought it was higher than that.
Yeah, Germany, if I remember correctly, is actually the lowest age of all of Europe.
I think it should be higher than that.
Yeah, I should. I think in the Netherlands, when I was going down the rabbit hole, it was 14 as well until like 2001 or something, and then it got raised. But in Germany, it's still 14. And here I always thought it was 18, you know, the adult line, like everywhere in Europe. So yeah, no, I completely forgot about that. I was even like, oh, I'm gonna make fun of this. She was like, what? That's not true.
I already had my whole argument with her about this, and she googled it, and it turns out she's right. Yeah, but...
Now I'm ready to press A.
Thank you for sharing that with everybody.
Yeah.
Hearing Satoko make a weird noise like a chicken being strangled was kind of hilarious, and I couldn't help but laugh. What the fuck?
Oh, no.
How does he know what a strangled chicken sounds like? Living in the countryside is a experience. What's the point of a command if you don't oblige?
I sometimes do.
We attempt to, sometimes. Sometimes we also then do the opposite because it's funny that way.
But this was knowledge that had to be shared.
When else do you randomly talk about the age of consent in comparison to other countries, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Tifa said like a human.
Because we were all like, oh, that wouldn't happen here. But yes.
It could.
It absolutely could.
At some point the classroom had erupted into laughter too. Maybe Reina was doing it on purpose. Choking your classmates to make every... I'll just accept it. Even if she wasn't, this nonsense was a welcome sight. Anyway, let's get over to the flowers while I still have time. Slowly and quietly, lest I destroy the room's newfound peace, I left the classroom.
Bye. Don't.
Don't have too much fun with me, or without me. The watering can was hanging up outside the kitchen. The building had originally been an all-male forestry service building, so there was apparently nothing so thoughtful as a garden here before. Okay, first of all, an all-male forestry service.
And then finding it weird there's no garden when this is a building for forest service.
So men don't like gardens. Also, I didn't know that forestry services would also be gendered like that.
But I'm guessing
Rangers. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but I don't know. Is ranger a traditionally male-dominated field? Probably, right?
I want to say at that time, probably.
I would think even still today. I mean,
that I don't know.
My experience with rangers is only, again, from TV, and I don't think I've ever seen a woman being a ranger. Meh.
Forest rangers? I've seen female forest rangers on TV.
When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. But, well, the flower bed, it was a little longer than you'd expect. It went all around. It went all over the place. It was so big one would need to refill the watering can 5 or 6 times to get it all done. I was doing this together with a kid who was also, thankfully, on day duty today. She was in the lowest grade though, and a full size smaller than even Rika-chan. I couldn't make a kid who would struggle just to lift a full watering can help me with this. If you were placed on day duty with someone who liked this sort of thing, they'd do it all for you, so it'd be cake. No point in blaming her. I give up, I'll just get started. Watering can in hand, just as I was about to leave the building, the old man from the forestry office addressed me.
Sonny, there's a vegetable garden behind the warehouse, right? It's all just about dried up. Water that too, would you?
Oh, you mean the curry vegetable garden? The one with the potatoes and carrots and other things that are only ingredients for curry?
I was just wondering what vegetable is a curry? But that makes a lot of more sense.
I too want to own a curry garden.
I felt so city girl that I don't know a vegetable called curry.
No. I mean, it could have been the stuff that the spices are made from in the end, but
I
makes sense.
Guess, yeah. But this makes sense.
It's definitely the personal garden of our curry-loving teacher, but making students responsible for its upkeep is getting them involved in her personal affairs. I couldn't say that to his face, though, so I gave up and decided to carry out my day duties. Curry, 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 curry. The sunlight out front was strong. The great chorus of cicadas was strongly underlining how nothing was different today than yesterday. I passed by the classroom and I don't know how it happened, but Reina and Satoko were in the middle of a huge melee. While I was gone, the kids had arranged all the desks in a circle, forming a ring while everyone was cheering them on. Yeah, that's how it should be. Once school ended, we would need to return to reality where talk of the elders' disappearance would once again be all over the place. I wanted everyone to forget about everything and have fun, just like yesterday, if only while they were at school. In that sense, Satoko's whirling elbow and Rena's backwards flying spin kick made for a pleasant sight. Even if, as a result, they flipped over my desk. Ah, that's my pencil box! I'll just let it happen today. The pencil box! There's curry powder is expected to contain at least these ingredients: turmeric, coriander, fenugreek, cinnamon, cumin, black pepper, ginger, and cardamom. And I want to say the most dominant one is turmeric. That's the one that gives it the nice
for the color.
Yeah, at least that's how it is over here. It blew my mind when as a kid I first learned that the thing I know as curry powder is actually this, like a melange of spices. I'm like, whoa, this is so many spices.
Oh, it's like with stuff like ras al hanout and stuff.
Yeah, I always thought it's just one thing, but the more you know.
I just buy it and throw it in my food.
Yeah, and it's tasty. I set to work, hastily watering everything, wanting nothing more than to be done as soon as possible. That should about do it. No sooner had I thought that than I remembered that I had to water the teacher's curry vegetable garden too. That's such a pain, but I have a feeling that I'll come back to bite me if I don't. I gave up, filled the can with water again and headed behind the warehouse. And that's when I saw it.
The mayor?
Oh god, that would be fucked up. Like, in bits and pieces. Then again,
I didn't even go there, but that is more fucked up.
It's Hinamizawa. We had a whole episode about how they eat your entrails and kill you in the most gruesome ways possible because traditions.
That is true. If you then do it in a spice garden, it's kind of a win-win, I guess.
How so?
Oh, if he's already laying in.
Oh, like that, yeah. I never did find that guy's arm.
Very true.
God. This was a place students didn't like to go. It was always damp here and you couldn't discard the possibility of slugs and pillbugs being around. What's wrong with pillbugs? Those are adorable. Slugs too, if they don't eat all of your vegetables. So when I ran across her in a place like that, I was surprised. Whoa! Oh, it's Rika-chan. Don't scare me like that. Rika-chan was just standing there like a puppet, devoid of life. I was the only one who was startled here. Rika-chan didn't even seem to react to my appearance. Rika-chan? Finally, she noticed me. Her expression was clearly abnormal. There was red under her eyes, stained with tears and dirt. There were blades of grass stuck in her hair too, and her clothes looked as though she'd fallen on the ground. Rika-chan, are you hurt? Did you fall?
No. That isn't it.
Rika-chan said in the brightest voice she could manage as she rubbed her eyes. She didn't look anywhere near normal though. What happened? You weren't sleeping on the storehouse roof and then fell off or anything, did you?
Don't worry about me. I have something I want to ask you, Keiichi.
Did you get in a fight? Also, wait, if... I just had a horrible premonition. In chapter 1, not Rika, Mion and Reina were the psycho murderers.
Mm-hmm.
What if here it's not them?
You think it's Rika and Satoko?
Possibly. Or Rika and Shion.
I mean, so far there's no indication of psycho killers going after us.
Rika-chan walked over and clung to me. At first I thought she was playing a trick on me. Eventually, however, I realized it was so that I wouldn't run from the question she was about to ask. I shuddered.
Why do I think she's also going to ask if we've seen Tomitake and Takano before?
Apart from the 2 corpses and the missing mayor, yeah, pish-posh details. What do you want from me? She looked straight into my eyes. Her upturned eyes bored right into me. It was as though they were trying to pull the answer out of my own eyes without actually asking me the question. It was scary, so I averted my eyes from hers.
Keiichi?
Did you do something bad on the night of the festival?
My body gave a jolt from its very core. Rika-chan, who was clinging to me, might have felt my shiver. A nervous tingle crawled up from my feet, and after going up my back and freezing my entire body, it made its way into my brain.
Keiichi? Do you really not remember?
What you egg stabs him, Shakespeare.
How are you doing, Mommy?
End scene, curtains, standing ovations. The shortest Shakespeare play ever, but also the most brilliant one. I love it. Or as Tifa would say, biz.
It's
Hello,
work.
Mommy. Happy Friday. How are you doing?
It's Mommy's fair.
My head began to throb. I don't understand anything. Mion asked me. Ooishi-san asked me. Shion asked me. And now Rika-chan was asking me. We thought nobody knew about what we did last night, but in fact, everyone knew? They all knew and they came to ask me. Again and again, until I admitted it. When I thought about it, it was pretty clear the whole thing was out in the open.
Then just don't admit it, right?
After all, don't Tomitake-san and Takano-san's deaths prove it?
Keiichi?
How should I respond? We never should have entered the Forbidden Storehouse, and even though I regretted it so much, was she saying it wasn't enough? However, I all but decided what I was going to say. I'm not exactly a good kid, you know? I've done lots of bad things, so I can't remember anything specific. What a defense!
That's a very political answer.
This is just shy of if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit.
Heard what you guys said, just didn't process because the audio and video didn't sync up on my end. Reloading fixed it, so definitely on my end. I am very glad.
Very good.
That was the fix.
Basically, we were singing your praises, and that should be a theatre piece. The shortest Shakespeare, but clearly the best.
Standing accusations, without standing, all of it.
Why does it need to be standing accusations if it can be standing ovations? You know, ovo, egg.
That's actually even better.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. One-upping people. Just as I had with all the others, I evaded the question. Rika-chan stared up at me with innocent eyes. Her eyes were so painful I had to look away. 0 out of 10.
It was at least a 3 out of 10, if anything.
Wow. Wow.
That's a really low score.
That... hurtful. You tried too hard. Yeah, it didn't gel, right? Like, yeah.
Next time.
I'll keep trying. After a few moments of mutual silence, Rika-chan released me.
Sorry for asking you something so strange. Please forget about it.
She said, smiling her usual smile. Also, are they all trying to do this like human lie detector thing where they just grab you really tight? So that if I ask you something uncomfortable and you twitch, then they go, ha! Caught you lying.
Well, she just held on to us so that we couldn't run off.
Fair enough. And you used foreign words. Yeah, true.
I took it more of a, like, holding your arm or like your shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, something like that. Then... Oh my god, Tifa, you have a golden opportunity. No, wait. And then?
That's not tap, tap, tap,
She went running off as if nothing had happened. Yeah, true. I mean, my foot trample wasn't exactly moe like Rika's would be.
It's like...
I'm so happy we don't have downstairs neighbors. As she retreated in silence, I could feel her accusing me. Rika-chan. If she didn't hear my voice when I was going to give up. However, she heard it. Rika-chan swiveled around and waited for me to continue. I was the one who had questions now. Still, asking any of them could just be a half-assed way of admitting what I did. Hey, Rika-chan.
What is it?
If everyone knows anyway, then I should be able to at least ask this, right? Why is everyone asking me about the night of a festival? That evening, had I done something that wrong? I felt plenty sorry about it and I only looked anyway. I didn't break anything or steal anything. Really.
Is he saying this or?
Still, Tomitake-san and Takano-san, they died so miserably. Since those two had come to such an end, there's obviously no way it would forgive only me. Rika-chan cutely tilted her head in confusion and waited for me to say something. Whenever dogs do that, it melts my heart.
So cute.
If I were to admit to what happened that night, though, she might suddenly do a 180 as if flipping a switch. That would make sense. Rika-chan was the shrine maiden. She was the least likely to forgive me for breaking the taboo, wasn't she? Upon reflection, wouldn't telling her be more terrifying than telling Mion or Ooishi-san? Rika-chan could just give up and leave, couldn't she? She didn't. She only was quietly waiting for me to say it myself. Say it, Keiichi Maebara. If you really are sorry, then you should say so. Of course, it's normal to hesitate, given the crazy way Tomitake-san and Takano-san died. A pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up my brain. The juice wrung out of it. It turned into big droplets of sweat which began to fall.
Keiichi?
Rika-chan suddenly straightened up, trying to pat me on the head.
I don't really understand what you're worried about, Keiichi.
I had nothing to say to that. I lowered my head a little so that Rika-chan's palm could reach it. She petted me kind of like one would a cat. That's so cute.
Yeah, I've never petted a cat.
I have. Usually I do that with dogs, where they seem to enjoy that more.
Well, like if it's scritches or like...
No.
Or is that, does that also fall under petting? I lost a word.
I think technically it's called a stroke, but I'm not sure. No, the thing is, with cats, every cat is different and some of them are like bombs, where if you pet them in the wrong spot, they'll just go, eh! And then they'll kill me. So usually doing like is the safest thing to do.
But petting like a cat is so weird if I think about it. Like I've never gone like that to a cat.
I recommend it. Try it out next time.
I don't think I will.
Inscrutable creatures.
Cats are adorable.
If they let you pet them, it feels like
you're the chosen one.
A personal achievement, but I don't feel the need to go through the tremendous pain of trying to reach for the belly rubs. If a cat doesn't like that.
The belly rubs not necessarily, but a lot of cats will just
touching
give you the belly.
A cat's fluffy, soft belly is one of the greatest joys in life. Almost as nice as touching my own soft, fluffy belly.
Do you know about the big storehouse a little way behind the shrine grounds? No. It stores the implements we use for rituals. Also, I'm guessing with how dusty it was, our footprints were all over the place.
Yeah. My breath literally stopped. Rika-chan, though, wasn't acting in a coercive way at all.
Apparently, on the night of a festival, a cat snuck into the storehouse.
A cat?
Yes. A cat. Meow meow.
Yeah. Rika-chan knew. She realized I was in fear. I could tell she was desperately trying to choose the right words so that she wouldn't scare me.
The cat always wanted to explore inside the storehouse, but I was mean to it and never let it go inside. So on the night of the festival, the cat couldn't hold itself back any longer and went inside.
That's Takano-san.
Yeah.
The cat? It was clearly supposed to be Takano-san. I called that. No raging about me doing something so obvious.
Well, it was clear, so.
Wow. Apparently Tifa lost all of her anger and other emotions during the vacation.
It's too warm. It's too warm for emotions. They have melted away.
Every summer our relationship dies a little. Only in winter and spring to then blossom again. Oh, wait. Was it supposed to be me? How can it be Keiichi? Because we've never attempted to go in there. We've never shown any interest in the store. We didn't even know the store warehouse existed before that.
It might evolve into us, but the whole it always wanted to go in and stuff definitely didn't fit.
Yeah.
Inside, there were actually lots of things that scared the cat.
Rika-chan made a cute gesture like a ghost was coming out to frighten me.
Ooh. The cat was both terrified and amazed. It ran away as fast as it could. Clatter, clatter, shiver, shiver, meow, meow. It was terrible.
This cat... Who are you saying it was?
The cat is a cat. Meow, meow.
Rika-chan still avoided saying it. The cat, though, was, without a doubt, me. Rika-chan, please tell me. The cat, what should it do now? Translation, shut the fuck up, I'm not... Exactly. Maybe it was a desperate question to ask. I had sort of admitted to being the cat.
The cat is just a cat, so it can just keep meowing and everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine? That's stupid.
Shouldn't it just keep meowing?
Oh my god, you utter moron. Hey, if my friend was a cat, what should the cat do? Just keep meowing and live your life? That's stupid. Listen here, you little bitch, Keiichi Maebara. How can you be this dense?
I'm not sure if she's giving us a way out or not.
We had one, but we fucked it up. Translation, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Jeez, Rika-chan and I have put together an entire conversation using cat as a code word. No one has accused him of being a smart kid. That is true. That is true. I didn't say it directly, but I had already admitted it. I didn't want to end up like these two. I didn't want to be a sacrifice, like Shion said. That's what I thought, so I stubbornly remained silent. But now, that's enough. It can't just keep meowing. The dog saw the cat making mischief and sneaking inside.
The dog.
That's right. It was the dog. It keeps coming to the cat and trying to get it to say that it snuck inside. After I said that, Rika-chan's expression clouded over. She was trying to hide it, but I'd already noticed her eyes darkening. Rika-chan? The silence was frightening, so I spurred her on. At that point, Rika-chan grinned.
It's alright. I'll protect the cat.
Huh? I thought for a moment that I had misheard those words, so dependable they were.
The cat is really scared, but it really isn't all that bad. I think all of the dogs are just misunderstanding.
It's not all that bad.
The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure.
So even if she herself doesn't murder somebody, she's gonna make it happen.
No, I don't think so. If we actually are talking about the same, she's saving or trying to save her ass.
I would not put it past Higurashi to have Rika-chan also become a murderer. Or should I say a murderer? It's deaf but cute. Yeah.
No. 5 out of 10.
Whatever. Rika-chan will do something about it. I don't even know left from right at the moment, so Rika-chan didn't look all that dependable.
I never know left from right.
It's okay, Rika gets a freebie. I mean, look at her. She's so cute.
She must have had a good reason.
Have you seen her yawn? It's adorable.
It might be hard, but I'll do my best. Go for it. Yay!
Ganbatte! She clenched her fist and the way air just escaped Tifa's mouth. I don't know if a microphone picked that up. I pray
It probably did.
Because it sounded like it was cheering me on.
It's like, yay!
Yeah, your stomach agrees. She clenched her fist and stuck it in the air. Rika-chan said that the cat can just keep meowing. She said to leave it all to her. Is that really all it took to resolve this whole thing? Will you really be alright, Rika-chan?
If I don't do my best, then something bad could happen to the dogs too.
I had no idea what Rika-chan was talking about anymore. She had been talking to me under the assumption that I was aware of certain things. So at first I understood her. Around the middle though I stopped understanding anything.
It's the problem if you talk in code.
Yeah. However, one thing I did know was to not worry and to leave it to her. Rika-chan straightened up once again, patted me on the head and smiled. I was so moved by that reassuring feeling that I couldn't help but start to cry. I'm sorry. The cat, it really was just a little bit of mischief. It didn't think any of this would...
It's too much of a scaredy cat. That's why I should never have seen the storehouse.
She was right. It was far too shocking for someone to see based on a little bit of interest alone. That's why they made it so difficult to look at in the first place, wasn't it? Rika-chan, what will happen to the cat? 2 of the cats had snuck in, well, that night they... I'd heard Tomitake-san and Takano-san's deaths were being kept a secret. Rika-chan might not have known about it. Oh, she does.
There we go. Finally, we get to the point.
I wouldn't even be too shocked if we learned that Rika-chan herself put Takano in the drum and lit her on fire.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Well, would I be shocked? No.
The murder little girl is a trope that exists because it's shocking every time it happens.
Yeah, I guess.
Tomitake and Takano?
I gave a start at the sudden mention of actual names. It's weird to do that at this point.
Isn't Takano almost twice her height? I mean, yes.
So?
But I guess that's why she trains with hammers and stuff then.
I'm not saying she overpowered her herself, but she could be the one that put her body into the drum with help, or at least the one that pours in the gasoline and then lights her. Just saying.
You should forget about them.
My spine froze again. Forget.
Yes. It won't do you any good to remember those two, Keiichi. The more you think about it, the scarier it will get. So you should forget about them as soon as possible.
She said something so enormously terrifying without letting the smile on her face waver at all.
I don't know where you heard about it from, but you should forget everything. Make your mind as clean as a scrubbed bathtub.
Forget, Rika-chan. You know, don't you? You know how those two died.
No matter how they died, it has nothing to do with you, Keiichi.
Rika declared this in a flat voice. Nothing to do with me. So forget about it. The girl before me, she was innocent and lovable and even seemed trustworthy, but suddenly she took on another dimension. Don't get involved with their deaths. I'll help you, Keiichi. Those two contradictory statements twisted and distorted my image of a girl in front of me. What about Shion? What'll happen to her? It might have been dangerous to mention Shion's name, but I couldn't stop myself from asking. Rika-chan saw through everything anyway. There was no way I was going to fool her or keep anything from her at this point.
The younger of the sister cats? Meow meow.
Yeah, the little sister cat. Rika-chan appeared to think upon this for a moment. It was hard for me to endure even this momentary silence.
The big sister cat is angry. The little sister cat did something bad, so she's really mad.
The big sister cat. That could only mean Mion. I recall being questioned by her yesterday.
Keiichi, the big sister cat is not in a good mood at all. I think we should leave her alone for a while.
Not in a good mood. Those words sent a shiver through me. Mion was mad. She was mad that we entered the ritual storehouse.
Let's stop having club from now on.
Huh? Why?
I think we should leave her alone. I really want to believe Rika is trying to help us here.
And every time the club activities start to die down is when shit starts to get real. It's not gonna go well. Rika-chan ended her sentence with such force that I couldn't say anything in response. Hey, Keiichi Maebara, don't disobey Rika-chan right now. She's the only one who said she'll help me right now. I'll leave things to her just as she said to. I mean, she even said that the cat should just keep meowing. I'll forget everything, like she said. I'll leave everything to her. I'll forget everything about Takano-san and Tomitake-san and what I did that night.
If Rika is really helping us here, I'm gonna make a prediction and say that Rika is gonna be the second person who will go missing.
Oh, okay. Let me write that down. Plum, 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 plum.
Because that kind of goes against the wishes to know, especially as someone who needs to protect all of this, turning a blind eye. And everyone knowing she's turning a blind eye, I want to say. Seems to warrant demoning away.
So she gets disappeared, or she gets disappeared specifically by Mion?
No, I think she will disappear.
Okay.
I don't think Mion is behind it, especially not since we had the whole Mion's family calling the search on the mayor.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if Mion has to do some of these things, because isn't she 18 or almost 18 already? And she is living... No, you don't put that there. She's living specifically with a matriarch of a great Sonozaki Yakuza family. I don't know why, but I've seen enough like crime movies, like thrillers and stuff, where in order to show that you're an adult now, they make you do one of those unspeakable things to show that you are one of them, you're part of a family. An initiation. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Exactly, Dark Lord. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if that was the night of the initiation. Like,
Yeah, but the tip didn't make sense.
what tip?
Where their family was the one who called everyone together in the middle of the night
But
to
they
start
didn't.
searching, but they did.
No, they didn't. That's not what happened. In the tip, we learned that Yoshi's family called the Sonozaki main house.
Yes.
And the Yoshi person was talking to Mion.
Yes.
And then Mion went like, oh, okay, if he's missing, start looking for him. If you still haven't found him by then, we'll call the police.
Yeah, and then they called all of their men together.
Yes.
To go search for him. I don't think it's them.
If you're already in control of everything because you have a big Yakuza and like different families, like different clans play into this, I wouldn't be too shocked if the top of the Sonozaki brass decided your initiation is to make these two dead, while the other families are not yet involved in this, and they just get told, yeah, you go look for the old guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's fully like unheard of, but I just don't think it's the case here. You can write it down if you want. I just don't think they're behind it here.
Like, as far as I'm aware, like the bigger Yakuza, I don't think clans is the right word, but organizations also work in groups. So just because one group does something doesn't mean they want the other group to know, or even like their bosses and stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
There's like internal politics.
Yeah, but no.
Or maybe it was all just a ruse so that the members of the other influential family play along. Because they think like, oh, the Sonozaki family is helping us. Oh.
Yeah, but no.
Just then we heard a bell far away, marking the end of our lunch break. I should click. I guess we should go back to class.
Keiichi?
As if she had noticed how miserable I was, about to leave everything to her and flee the scene, Rika-chan called out to stop me.
If the misunderstanding dog comes to try and bite the cat, please tell me, okay?
The misunderstanding dog. She put it in such a cute-sounding way, but the true meaning behind those words was an eerie one.
Who's the... Oh.
Ooishi-san. Hello, Skinner. Happy Friday.
Congrats on being second.
How are you doing? Who is the misunderstanding dog?
The dog that bit the mayor. I don't know why it did that. The dog that bit the mayor.
I am so wholly confused by the code word talk. I thought the dog was the police, as in ooishi-san. And now the dog that Rika is talking about is whoever was responsible for making the mayor disappear. And for all intents and purposes, that could be the same person. It could very well be ooishi-san. But
Are you winning? I don't feel like we're winning yet. But... So does that mean she knows who's behind this?
yes, potentially. Or maybe she has a suspect. Great mindfuck, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, listen, hear me out. I've said it over and over again. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are not the continuation of the same story.
Yes, you have said that from the beginning.
One day I'll be able to say it with a straight face.
From the beginning.
Okay. I have accepted that Chapter 1 and Chapter 2... Why did we make that command? I have accepted now that Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are not exactly the same story. They share details, but clearly they diverge. So thank you. Mwah, just for you. It could very well be that Ooishi-san in chapter 2 is actually a corrupt cop. Like a complete opposite of what he was in chapter 1.
Could be the case.
So maybe, or maybe it's very maybe it's just a really dumb misunderstanding based on the code talking thing, and the mayor isn't actually Onikakushi the way. Maybe Ooishi-san drove by with his air-conditioned car and picked up the mayor and drove him away to interrogate him. This version of Ooishi has clearly been shown to not mind putting some force behind it, blackmailing the delinquents and getting handsy with Keiichi.
Yeah, but the question is, who did we mean when we were talking about the dog? Because everyone caught us.
I was thinking Ooishi.
Yeah, but who does Keiichi mean? Because I think that's also important here. Also, how was the movie, Skinner?
Gojira X Kong. Tifa and I watched, what's it called? Godzilla Zero? The one that just
the one that was popped on Netflix.
The one that also got an Oscar, I think, for special effects or CGI or something like that last year. That one. -1. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Certain plot points at the end were kind of wild, but I liked the movie.
It wasn't bad, yeah.
Would recommend watching.
I'm not sure.
Best visual effects.
I'm not sure where exactly it fits. If it's like a prologue.
Nowhere, because it isn't. It's a self-contained Gojira story.
Because the title makes me think that, but I guess they just had to put something in the title to not have 100 movies with the same one. But it was a good watch.
It's after regular Godzilla, like almost all of them. Alright, well, that one.
I thought it was like before it.
But if you haven't watched it yet, I would recommend watching it.
Sure.
It's not bad.
But who?
I say the dog is Ooishi-san. Should I write that down? Or is that unimportant?
Can you go back for a second when we...
Wait,
to the part where we mentioned the dog?
Stop. I need to talk. Sorry, rude, but I just moved the mouse wheel and this time it actually went through the text. It advanced the text. I didn't even click what the... Sorry about that.
Oh.
I specifically used the mouse wheel because... Whatever, the game's weird.
Go back up while you're in there.
No, now I'm typing.
Oh.
The dog is Ooishi. You also have one or you don't?
Go back to the text first.
I can't go back because you need to read those lines because they'll disappear in a moment.
Yeah, they'll still be in the text log.
No.
Go back to the log and scroll up. To where Keiichi first mentioned the dog. I've been saying that the entire time.
Do you know how long ago that was?
Yeah, go there. Also, it only feels that long ago. It was barely...
Hot scrolling action, everybody.
It was barely that long ago. Two of the cats. Bit of mischief. I think we're already past it.
I'm doing this for you. You tell me when to stop.
Oh wait, I think the dogs are just misunderstanding. Yeah, it's more up. It was the dog.
I can't go further up. You good now?
It was just before this.
Cool. Can you read your 2 lines now?
You're such a...
Such a press A person? Yes, I am.
The dog that bit the mayor. I don't know why it did that. If it was going to bite anyone, it would have been the trickster cat first.
The trickster cat is Shion?
Is Shion, yeah. Allegedly. I mean, we don't know. The flow of blood in my body felt like it completely stopped for a moment. Rika-chan had admitted it. The sacrifices of a terrible calamity. She admitted that if they were to happen again, it would be Shion or I. I didn't know what was true about the girl standing before me. My suspicion gave way to fear and nearly began to change into anger. Was she a savior who would protect me? Or a stranger trying to capture and kill me for the sake of a horrible tradition? I had no idea what was true.
I'm sorry. The cat is already scared, and I said something to scare it even more. I'm really sorry.
She said with an angry, pouty face. Rika-chan bowed so quickly it looked like her head had been pulled downward. Still, she was right, I was cowering. I could distinctly feel my body shaking violently. So when Rika-chan reached her hand out to pat me on the head, I pulled away without thinking. Wow, rejecting a pet from Rika. That's instant death sentence, right? Like, there is no recovery after this. I am so... Rika-chan made a very sad face, but I just couldn't bring myself to put out my head for her again. Thank you. That day, Rika-chan said she wasn't feeling up for club activities, so she suggested we don't bother. There's always vetoes when someone doesn't feel up to it. Ren and the others seemed really disappointed. The big sister cat is not in a good mood. I remembered Rika-chan's words and quietly stole a glance at Mion's expression. If I could forget the way she questioned me yesterday, though, her behavior was the same as it always was. Was it, though? Because why is she so tired, huh?
Well, that's not that weird. She still made her jokes, had her talks.
Yeah, she mostly seemed normal, other than being tired. Talking about tired, sure, that's a bad segue. I'm running out of tea, and I would like some more. So how about we take a short break?
No.
Yes.
BRB. We're back.
We are. Sorry it took a second longer because I had to go to the bathroom, and today I'm wearing shorts. And those are kind of loose, so I put a, what do you call it? Not a
knot?
ribbon. Yeah, a knot and then the other thing. Knoten und dann eine Schleife.
What?
Like when you tie your shoelaces, you do a knot and then you do the other thing.
A butterfly knot?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but that's
In
what
German,
you're trying
it's
to imply, no?
ein Knoten und eine Schleife. There you go. Thanks for the detailed information of your pants.
And the
You're
knots.
welcome. So I did that, and then I went to the toilet and I realized for some reason I cannot untie this thing. So I first had to find a way to remove the pants from my body to do the thing I went to do, and then I had to get my pants back on somehow.
Somehow.
Nobody asked, but now you know anyway. You're welcome.
This man definitely fell in the toilet.
I wish then I would have cooled down a little bit.
You
It's
know
still
there's
so
no
warm.
other way. But it's okay. Happens to the best.
Do you never have a problem where you want to go take off your pants for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, but you can't open your pants for some reason? Am I the only one that's ever experienced that? You can't tell me that.
No, everyone has had that. Whether it's a super annoying button that uses so much strength or a knot problem.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's Keiichi's room with his functional clock, and it's a cordless phone. It's so cordless you see no cables.
This is not a cordless phone.
Maybe it's battery powered. Why are you a hater?
What phone in the 80s was battery powered?
After dinner, without the energy to watch TV, I climbed into my futon in my bedroom and let my head be overtaken by gloomy thoughts. I told Rika-chan anything and everything. She had seemed trustworthy at the time, but had that really been the right choice?
It's not like nobody really knows about what we did.
The more I looked back on it, the less I understood what Rika-chan was saying. Not only did she know about Takano-san and Tomitake-san's deaths, but She spoke of him as if she were a concerned party. After all this time in my futon, I began to tremble fiercely. Had I been lured in by Rika-chan's sweet smile and told her things I shouldn't have? The power of Moe, it keeps happening. I should have continued to feign ignorance. I shouldn't have shown her such a weak side of me. My emotions are a mix of regret and fear, and it colored the darkness of the night with an additional layer of terror. Suddenly a knock. I might have yelped. That's how surprised I was. Keiichi, I've been calling your name for a while. You have a phone call. It's from Sonozaki-san.
Why can't we... never mind. No.
Why?
No, keep going.
Say it.
No,
Say it.
it's fine. Like, what is the phone here on the table even for? If there's a phone call downstairs, we can pick up the call here, and it just like goes on. It's like, you know, when your mom calls and they have the person on the line, and you went like, it's for you, and you're like, fine, I'll pick it up here, and then you have this 3-person call for a moment until your mom or dad in this case then hangs up the phone, and then you can keep talking to your friend like, what is this phone for?
It's a toy phone because Keiichi Maebara has woken up at some point in his young life and went, I want to be a call center agent when I'm older.
Wasn't it back then that you had to like plug in? My mom still used to do that in like this phone
Wasn't it that back then you still had to plug in my mom is what you
no,
just
you had to plug
said.
in those like cables. Like I remember my mom
A
telling me
switchboard.
she used to like this
a switchboard
reception
operator.
thing. Yeah, and it's like
I don't know. I'm not that old. I know that's a thing that existed, but I don't know when it went out of use. You like torturing us, do you, Tifa?
I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense.
Next, Tifa is going to point out that every single day so far, Keiichi has either gone commando as in not wearing underwear, or, potentially worse, depending on how you view this, has been wearing the same pair of underwear. Because in the background you see, whatever the light blue thing is, you see a formal shirt, you see the pants, and you see the jacket. You see no underwear. Or socks.
Yeah, but I kind of just assumed this was the clean stuff hanging there for easy putting it on and the rest is in a drawer in another corner. Like that somehow doesn't throw me off.
It's wild that this doesn't.
I mean, we also have stuff on the chair.
True.
To put on, but not socks and underwear. The
quick use inventory hack.
Yeah, exactly. But the socks and underwear are in the drawer. So it's like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Most boys wouldn't want to display their underclothes. Yeah, true.
Why not?
I don't know. Want to see mine?
That's very pretty underwear.
I know it.
Quite sure I'd watch you that.
And you guys thought I would show it to you on stream. Disgusting. Get your minds out of a gut.
Scandalous.
It was Dad. I reached out for the cordless phone through the gap in my door. Her eyes immediately go to the phone. Sonozaki-san, which one? The older sister or the younger? I don't know. Ask her yourself. Thanks, Dad. That's not gonna make it awkward at all. I took the receiver and buried myself in my futon again. Hello? Mion? Or is it Shion?
It's me.
Oh my god. Are you A or B? It's me. This is 100% a conversation with Tifa. Hey Tifa, would you like us to eat A or B for dinner? Yes. You wouldn't believe how often I've had that conversation in my life with her.
Honestly, in like 90% of all cases, it's the first thing.
Yeah. But why does it take your brain all the way until I finish the sentence and the other options for you to just say, yeah?
Because you do the same. But then you want to respond to what you already heard, and then sometimes it just comes out already, and then you already come with other options, or...
So the answer had already formed in your mouth, but you were letting me finish my sentence as to not be rude.
Yes.
Good save.
Shion, good evening.
I practically jumped out of bed. It was Shion, who I hoped so desperately would call me back last night.
I also want to say, by the way, that this is also exactly how these things go. Like, I say something, then you already go on the rant like you did now. Like, oh, why don't you say this and that? And then you press A and then the rest comes. Like, if you would have just pressed A, or in our conversation, just not say anything at all, the rest would have still come out.
I was talking in real life, Tifa. I can't press A in real life to
That's why I
advance your
said,
text.
in real life, the press A is saying nothing.
Listen, I understood the words you just said individually, but the way you strung them together, it's like...
It makes sense. Because
I have no idea
now,
what you just said.
after the "it's me," she said her name. So if we would have just pressed A, the whole rant you just went with wasn't really a thing. And it's the same with like the example you came with IRL. Like if usually you say something, then I say something back. And if you then just say nothing, usually the rest about what you complain about is missing still comes.
Totally two different things.
No, it's not. It's a perfect example.
Shion, sorry about last night. I got all riled up. My way of answering that is to just continue a game.
I already forgot that was last night. It feels like 2 weeks ago.
Because for us it was. Time is a construct. I heard what sounded like a deep sigh on the other end. You and me are in the same position, aren't we? I shouldn't have blamed you for everything like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, so please, cheer up.
I called you because I'm in a better mood. If you're sorry, then I'll forgive you, so please stop apologizing.
Shion's tone still sounded a little angry, but for the moment she said she'd forgive me.
You're right too. We're tied to the same fate. Making sure the other is alright is the only way to guarantee our own safety.
Yeah, I agree.
We absolutely need to share whatever information we have. Why
This
do I
is
think
Mion.
I also think this is Mion.
I went there with this person who is an identical twin who looks and sounds basically the same as the other one, to the point where I cannot tell them apart without looking at them.
So let's share what information we have and let's start with a recap. What did we do exactly on the Watanagashi again, Keiichi? So that we don't die like Takano and Tomitake-san did.
I forced myself to swallow a solid drop of saliva.
Then let's continue from where we left off. You'll listen without getting angry this time, right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, in that case, I think it might be Shion after all.
No, he said that he got angry. Everything she said so far is based on what he said. And what everybody knows.
If she now actually continues the conversation of where we were last time, there's a very low chance it's Mion.
Let me press. I still think it's Mion.
Firstly, it seems sneaking into the ritual storehouse was more of a taboo than we thought.
Takano-san and Tomitake-san's miserable ends, terrible enough that you could call them a warning, they were more than enough to make me believe that.
The culprits killed those two, the one responsible for sullying the storehouse, and they'll come for us next. I know you want to deny that, but please accept it. It will be too late to believe me after you've disappeared, okay?
I got it. You can never be too careful after all.
I don't want to accept it either. To think that sneaking a peek at that museum of torture devices deserves a death like that, I don't want to believe it.
That's what a taboo is. For those who honor it, if one breaks the taboo, no matter how small or innocent their intentions were, they wouldn't be forgiven.
Let's report anything we notice that seems strange. If we connect all the tiny pieces that we have, then just maybe we'll find out who killed them. Or maybe even the truth behind the incidents of the previous years. We could find the key that will resolve everything.
What did we see in there that gave us any sort of clue towards who would have done what when?
I want to say none.
Nothing. Also, going back to the coded conversation with Rika. In the beginning, she just said the cat entered the house. And later on, she called both Mion and Shion a cat. The younger cat, the older cat. What if Mion also got into the thing? And that's also why she knows that it had been broken into.
That is a good point you
So
mentioned.
this could very well still be Mion that we're talking to, knowing that somebody else went in there, assuming, because we have been seen by somebody, I cannot not believe that, knows it was us, and now she's squeezing us for information.
That is true, but based on what she just said, I think it might actually be Shion.
Also, in my head, Mion is effectively the second in line in the entire Sonozaki family.
Yes.
If anybody can go into the storehouse whenever she damn well pleases, she would be one of these people.
It could be, yeah.
If she is essentially the second ranking Yakuza boss, then she can go into that building.
Well, second ranking might not be enough, but...
You really think that her grandmother goes and gets the appliances?
I don't think she needed to get appliances either.
It's about who has access to the thing. If
Well,
she doesn't have it, being the second highest, the only person left would be her grandmother. And I don't think she gets her hands dirty.
yeah, I mean, it could be. She doesn't even need permission. She could have also just gone in and seen us in there.
You're right. You're right about that. All I was doing was waiting in fear, but Shion had already fought that far ahead. Given how trustworthy she felt, I became embarrassed of how passive I was being.
Then I'll start since I suggested it. I feel like somebody has been watching me lately.
What?
It might be my imagination, but I'll tell you anyway. I think it's just me, but if you feel like you're being watched too, Kei-chan, then maybe it's not just my imagination.
And then Keiichi looks directly at the camera, breaks the fourth wall. Well, don't worry. At the very least, everything's been fine for me. I think. As I spoke with Shion, I thought back on today. I had no grounds to say that everything was fine.
I see. Then I suppose it was my imagination. But you be careful too, Kei-chan. Be especially careful when you're by yourself in public. I'm in Okinomiya, so I won't be alone very often, but you live in Hinamizawa. There will be a lot of times you'll be alone. Please be extra careful.
Especially around white, unmarked vans. You're right. Yeah, I'll be careful.
Also, about my sister. Has she been acting strange lately?
Your sister, oh, Mion, right. What do you mean by acting strangely?
Well, yesterday, she came to me and asked me where I was on the night of the Watanagashi.
Was that a slip of a tongue, or was she just reordering her sentence?
Yeah.
Because the way you read it is the way I want to imply it. She came to ask me.
It seems like a slip up that she wouldn't make, more like how I sometimes slip up, reorganizing my sentence, but it also could be a tiny detail or just...
I don't think there are coincidences in the story. What? She asked me too. The day before yesterday, I think, Mion asked me.
I see. I told her I wasn't there. What did you say?
I did the same thing. I just dodged the question.
No, didn't we say that we probably spoke to Shion?
We don't remember. Both of us gave a quiet sigh of relief.
Ever since the night of the festival, my sister has been acting strangely. We can't be too careful, so just be aware, okay?
Mion was acting strangely. Aside from her asking about aside from her asking me about the night of Watanagashi, she hadn't seemed too out of the ordinary. What are you talking about? The next morning, she came running completely out of breath and out of it, not feeling well, later on claiming she had drunk alcohol the night before. When Keiichi pointed out there is no reason for her to be out of breath because she lives right over there in that house. I'm telling you, there was like an initiation kind of thing, and she ate human flesh or she killed somebody, or at least she watched. If there was alcohol involved, it was because it was part of like the celebration of it all, of a ritual or whatever. I don't believe that she didn't touch alcohol, whether it be to like be able to stomach the whole situation or because it's part of it. I don't know, I don't care. But she was not acting normal.
That was just an excuse, if anything.
At least from my point of view. Her twin sister, though, was saying she was acting weird. Maybe it was such a slight change that a stranger like me wouldn't be able to notice. Got it. I'll start being careful. I'll always have Reina with me on my way back from school, so I shouldn't end up alone with Mion very often.
Please be careful. If there's anything that's bothering you, you can tell me.
Alright.
Okay, then is there anything you want to tell me, Keiichi?
My turn. That's right, maybe I should report on ooishi-san asking me the same questions at the library.
Oh, that time when you were too slow to escape?
Yeah. Ooishi-san asked me pretty forcefully whether I was with Takano-san and Tomitake-san that night and whether I had seen you. Ooishi-san seemed to have seen the four of us together.
From the police point of view, that would make us the last people who had seen them. I suppose, given that it's only natural that they'd be interested in us.
I evaded the questions then too, but it might have just made them more interested. There was no way I could have tricked that sly old fox Ooishi-san. My troubled countenance would have only made him even more certain. Hey, Shion? Since they're the police, shouldn't we just tell them? I mean, considering our situation, I think having them on our side would be a good thing. Shion didn't answer right away. For a few moments, all I could hear was her breathing as she thought about it. Now that I think of it, Ooishi-san said there was something possibly shady about me on it. At least, I think that's what he said. Yeah, he definitely did.
As I explained yesterday, the Sonozaki family holds a lot of influence over Hinamizawa. Ooishi is under the impression that the whole village, with the Sonozaki family at the center of it all, is responsible for the recurrent freak deaths.
The whole village is behind them, with the Sonozaki family at the center? Please don't get angry like you did yesterday and just listen. I hammered that home before I got too upset.
During the Hinamizawa Dam Wars, the priest who everyone was anticipating to lead the anti-dam movement acted as though he were unrelated, so the Sonozaki main house rose up to take charge. My sister told you about all the battles that happened, right?
Why are you...
Because Shion told us about the battles.
No,
Didn't she?
Mion also told us about it. Shion told us about all the things that happened, and I think Mion is the one that said she was attacked.
No, that was Shion. Shion told us that she got attacked and hid in the temple to the point where blood spluttered out when she was at the cafeteria thingy.
Is that Shion?
Yes.
Well, then Mion told us
sorry.
about some other things.
A character looking like Shion. We never know with these two now.
Who is the one that actually told us now?
That was Shion. Shion gave us the whole spiel.
All of them?
Yes.
Did we also not have a conversation with Mion?
That was Shion, because the whole angle to it was that she doesn't like the police because as a kid she got attacked by one of her riot officers. And then it escalated. That was Shion. Yesterday and right now on the phone, that's Mion.
Yeah, but did Mion not also talk to us about
I honestly don't
It's all
recall.
blending
Yeah.
into one. I can't recall.
Yeah. All of Hinamizawa got together and fought as one. They held protests, brought it to court, and even appeared on TV.
Still trying to think, but then this could be Mion again after
Yeah.
all, but this is gonna be confusing as
Either
fuck.
Mion knows that Shion called yesterday and they talked about it or whatever, or it's been Mion both times.
Yeah, it's confusing. In reality, there were many things that happened that were far more extreme. Or Shion already disappeared and Mion is taking her place.
Yes.
I think you might have even mentioned that
I
before.
wouldn't be shocked about that either. That would also explain why she had to come running and why she doesn't get sleep and stuff. Because she's pretending to be both of them because for some reason other people can't yet know that Shion is gone.
I mean, it would be bad if someone from the Sonozaki family gets demoned away. That's a bad sign.
Why? Not if the top brass decides that they have to go.
For the outside.
Yeah, okay,
That
yeah,
kind
true.
of means
The
you have
optics on
a
that would
rot
be...
in your family.
Yeah, the optics would be a certain way, yeah.
Under the surface. That was a good song. The Sonozaki main house was doing all sorts of illegal things to oppose it.
They were acting illegally?
For example, they would sneak into the construction site in the middle of the night and steal equipment or break it, or put sugar cubes in the gasoline tanks of the construction vehicles.
That's a really easy way to fuck up an engine. It's amazing how, like, just a cube of sugar can do something like that. Sugar in their gasoline tanks? Why would they...
You don't know? It's practically the representative guerrilla tactic. It was used by underground organizations in France in World War II, for example. When you put sugar in, the engine gets burned out and breaks down.
That's pretty bad though, isn't it? It was destruction of property and nothing less.
When they beefed up the guard at the construction facility, the family turned to attacking important construction personnel who worked there. The government officials who had given permission for the construction, for example, received all kinds of threats. Not just people from the prefectural office either. Apparently this reached as far as the Ministry of Construction. As far as I've heard, they even kidnapped a child once.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, they took the kid and put it to a nap. No? No.
-5 out of 10. Wow. Wow. No. Nah. Mm-mm.
Yes. The child of an important person in the Ministry of Construction who was in charge of the Hinamizawa Dam got spirited away. 2 out of 10. Hey, that's higher than the previous one.
Sorry, I was pointing up with my middle finger. I needed to stretch that.
Then one day, all of a sudden, he was rescued in the Takatsuri Mountains, which are upstream from Hinamizawa. Apparently, there were never any criminal accusations, but people whispered that it had been a threat to stop the dam construction from happening. Besides that, there are stories about so many different threats that I couldn't possibly list them all. Okay, so we got even more information about the dam construction.
Spoilers, Yakuza bad. That's the short of it. Wow, that's sort of bad, isn't it?
Right in the middle of the whole thing, the first incident happened. That's when the dismemberment of the construction manager occurred. People whispered that the Sonozaki family had bought out the principal offender. But of course, he fled and they still haven't found him.
When she put it that way, the Sonozaki family definitely seemed suspicious.
Ooishi-san even seems to think that the criminal was erased so he wouldn't talk. Which is pretty reasonable of him. It's even enough to make me think that the Sonozaki main house is doing some really shady things behind the scenes, even though I'm related to them.
Are you telling me to believe that? That the Sonozaki main house, where Mion lives, has done all those bad things? You're telling me to believe it?
Even if you don't, Kei-chan, the villagers do.
While they opposed the dam in upright and lawful ways, the Sonozaki house did the dirty work for them. Everyone believes that they fought at the front so that they take the brunt of the criticism. So they are respected as sort of heroes of darkness.
Or warriors of darkness, if you...
I think I only really know one part of it. For example, the really bad stuff like the kidnapping, I think only a handful of people even know about it, including Grandma. The Sonozaki family is secretive after all.
Secretive, huh? A family is so unforthcoming that even Shion, who is related to them, doesn't know everything about them. What about this is unforthcoming? Did you not listen to when she just reiterated to you that they are the Yakuza? They are a criminal organization.
I think we just don't realize what that all might imply.
Yeah, it doesn't fully hit yet because the two Sonozakis we know are our new childhood friend and the girl we have a hots for.
Basically.
The Sonozaki family. Like Shion, her older twin Mion was deeply involved with everything, and that was not a fun thought to entertain.
And I think a lot of people also want to imagine that these sort of like organizations work from underground and not out in the open as such a big, respectful family.
Isn't that also, I could be completely wrong here, but isn't that also a thing in Japan? I don't know if still to this day, but that the Yakuza also do things that the general public approves of, which is why not all of them are hated. Like helping elderly and stuff.
Makes sense.
I think I remember reading articles like this. But then again, what good they do, does that outweigh all the bad they do? And I would say no. No, you kind of lose me at the point where you kidnap children and dismember people.
I mean, it depends on what bad we're talking about. If it's on that level, no. If we're talking about...
Yakuza are just politicians with better PR sometimes. Okay. In many ways, a conglomeration of small businesses or a small town government have similarities to a Yakuza family.
It might not all be bad in that way.
I don't know, I want to say when you start dealing drugs and traffic humans and run prostitution rings.
Well, when do you fall under Yakuza? What's the definition? Do you need to just like sell drugs?
My problem is, Tifa, we're playing Higurashi. I cannot look it up because when I start scrolling, the game goes haywire.
Well, I could look it up.
Yes. Definition of Yakuza. Here we go. This is a learning moment, people. I think Yakuza equals anarchist capitalist, basically.
Yakuza is a powerful Japanese criminal organization, or a member of the Yakuza is a gangster or racketeer.
Yeah, great. We knew that part. So, what does the Yakuza actually do, according to the Office of Justice Programs?
Okay, it's mostly gangs controlled by many businesses engaged in gambling and loan shark activities, heavily investing in sports and other types of entertainment.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure other entertainment is a euphemism for sex trafficking.
Probably because this information is on the Japanese government website.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a Japanese website.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Office of Justice side of Japan.
So I want to say, again, like doing good things, that's great. But when you loan shark people and then you go to the nice family man who was just down on his luck and you break his kneecaps, not my cup of tea. Sex, drugs, gambling, and money lending.
The typical
The four pillars
stuff
of modern humanity.
But my sister, though young, was the one who acted as the center of the legal resistance movement.
Mion was? What do you mean?
Didn't we already learn this? Or not?
Yeah, from ooishi-san, but of course we didn't believe it because
fair enough.
our friends aren't imperfect. What are you talking about?
Well, our dad is a big shot Yakuza. Even when she was little, my sister managed to subjugate a bunch of young street rats. Then she played all sorts of tricks on them and just generally got in their way.
Mion did that?
Now she's pretty laid back, so it might be hard to imagine. She did everything from property damage to threats and even acts of violence, and she was picked up for it countless times. Though, since she was a kid, they could get her released pretty easily.
That's the thing that actually still is being done today, and it's absolutely disgusting to me. That these like crime organizations get children and have them do their dirty work for them. I mean, they don't do this willingly, they get forced into this position. But they specifically send out the kids because, like, even if the police grabs them, worst case, they'll be tried like children generally.
That's
And-
not even a criminal organization thing.
And those punishments are less bad than those for adults. It's disgusting.
There's plenty of kids that also do shit nowadays because they know they can get away with it.
Yeah, but those people are fucked up in the head, so.
She learned that her age could be used as a weapon.
It may have been indiscreet, but I couldn't help but chuckle dryly. She may have been young, but she was certainly still Mion. What the fuck kind of line is that? Where does this come from?
Well, it's hard to imagine when it's someone you know in a very different light, I guess.
Yeah, listen. Hey, my BFF, the cool tomboyish girl that I may or may not have feelings for because I'm conflicted. Who is charismatic in the sense that she can commandeer people at will, basically. I just learned that she's been running a youth crime organization just because she could, and she's done some terrible shit. That's my Mion.
Yeah, but we don't know that side from her. That's still my best friend. Yeah.
Hey, don't pay no mind, you're under 18, you won't be doing any time. Yeah, something like that. Even back then, she had already been known for her craftiness. What the fuck? Stop apologizing. What?
Silly Mion, all the weird things she did.
She's so crafty. Look at her getting a group of people together to beat up the guy who looked at her in a way she didn't like. Nah, Keiichi's losing me in this one.
It's nothing to laugh about.
Thank you. Thank you for the reality check, lady.
Please take this seriously.
I think usually it's Psycho who goes, Jack, no, this is a serious moment. Yeah. She destroyed construction vehicles. So cute.
No, they were polluting and stuff.
What's a little dismemberment? It's so cute. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Jin had gotten pretty angry at me.
Well, her delinquency soon got her into a position of authority in the Sonozaki main house. It's not unthinkable that Oishi suspects them for the dismemberment incident and the later ones too.
As we're having this conversation, Grandma Sonozaki is sitting in the back, picking at her teeth, with the hand of a construction worker.
Nah, she's holding the phone cord.
Or that, for a few moments, I was dumbstruck at the tales of Mion's past. None of them matched the image I had of her. A younger Mion dirtying her hands with all sorts of crimes, giving the damn construction project hell. As the successor to the Sonozaki main family, she was always right at the center of a vortex of strange incidents occurring year after year. Was that really the Mion I know? Maybe the one I know isn't the real Mion. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't bring myself to accept these images of Mion I was hearing from another person.
Well, back to the main subject. Oh my gosh, this conversation's still not done.
I just wanted you to know that my sister is someone worth being cautious around. Please be careful.
I didn't want to understand. Mion was a fantastic friend. She would never do something to back me into a corner like that. She did ask me pretty harshly about the night of the festival, but even that, it wasn't like she said anything in a mean way or anything. Because she didn't ask me in a mean way, I don't believe when everybody independently tells me she's a Yakuza. Alright, I'll make sure to be careful.
We're sisters related by blood, but within the Sonozaki family we're basically of a different class. I want you to recognize how distant my position is from hers. Please.
The more Shion tells me about Mion, the less I understand who Mion is. The Mion I know wasn't a dangerous person. She joked around, smiled a lot, and was full of passion. Now that I'd realized I'd held such a view towards her, Shion was telling me to change it. To be careful around the best friend ever. To doubt her. The idea was very sad and painful.
Now, about Oishi. If you think it's a good idea, then I think we should give him the information he needs.
Okay.
I think getting the police on our side will work in our favor.
You thought so too, Shion.
It's just, at the moment, like I explained, the police have their eyes on the Sonozaki family already.
For good reason, clearly.
Oishi in particular completely believes that they're the masterminds behind the serial incidents. That includes me, of course. So I don't really want much to do with Oishi.
I see. If Ooishi-san had found out about the Sonozaki family's strife-filled history, then he probably wouldn't be very happy with Shion either. At last I understood Mion's instinctive dislike for Ooishi-san.
It's probably out in the open at this point, but try not to give my name to him. If you agree to that, then I don't think there's a problem with you telling him anything.
I got it. I won't mention your name.
She's setting us up.
Yes.
The police investigative ability should be quite a reliable weapon for us right now.
Because it has been such a reliable weapon for the past 5 years, huh? Come on.
If Oishi tells you anything interesting, then let me know as well.
Ah, we're being set up as a double agent.
Mm-hmm.
I've played this game before. I mean, not this one, but... Yeah, of course. We'll share information and investigate together. Who killed Takano-san and Tomitake-san? Who was after us? Until we know, we need to defend ourselves.
Anything else? Besides what Oishi told you, I mean? If anything else has happened, no matter how minor, please tell me.
Aside from my discussion with Ooishi-san?
No, we're not gonna tell her that. Nope.
I think this is a beautiful moment to end it for tonight. As the music also changed.
I have a feeling we're not gonna tell her about that. Be like, nah.
Remember, page 3.
Yeah, but like if you just load it, you can see the date.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, we have quick saves. I never even paid attention to it.
Oh, same. But it's fine. We always manage to find it after all.
Eventually, yes. I am so confused about all of this still. Like, especially with all the stuff that we're learning about the Sonozaki family. I wouldn't be too shocked if Mion was posing as Shion regularly, just to get away from it all.
That could also be, but I still have a really hard time in the Mion, Shion. Are they mixing each other up?
Yes, yeah. It's been implied from the very beginning.
Yeah.
First, it was implied that they're one and the same person. And then, even when we learned that no, there is 2 physical people, Mion and Shion, in that very first confrontation between them and Keiichi being there in the toy store, they were talking about, oh, or did you dress up like me and make a bento for Keiichi and bring it to him, acting and pretending to be me? And when Mion went like, Shion was like, see, she can't even refute it, so maybe, who knows?
Yeah, I guess.
The idea's been planted the entire time.
It has, but still it's hard to decide or to check who is it at the moment. And I'm guessing at some point the thing you might need to solve is like, when was it Mion, when was it Shion or something? Or who is just a bad guy in general?
with the different chapters actually being completely different stories, I don't even know what the questions that we need to answer in the end are going to be.
That is true.
Because, like, at this point, I'm guessing chapters 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are also gonna be just, it sounded so negative, but it wasn't meant to be, some variation of this story. Maybe the question, so now we're playing through question arcs, maybe the answer arcs, the later ones, will be different, at least
I have no clue.
in the story. Maybe there'll be like a second side of a coin to the other chapters, like 1 and 5 and 2 and 6. And I don't know. I have no idea where any of this is going.
That could also be...
So far, Higurashi feels like you're going through the first one, it feels like you're watching a series for the first time and you're like, yeah, that's nice. And then you're watching it again, and when suddenly details change and the story is going somewhere else and you begin to think, wait, am I stupid?
Yeah, but that's the problem, especially like what you asked with the whole story about the dam constructions. At some point, the information starts, especially when you play it over a longer period of time, the information you have starts bleeding into one another.
Yeah.
So now it's harder to tell who actually gave us
I think that's part of the point of it.
what we know in this chapter. Which is probably easier if you play it a bit faster after another.
If they keep going with it's Keiichi and his friends in Hinamizawa in summer again, and this is the 5th Watanagashi again. Like, I made like dozens of pages of notes, but good luck keeping track of anything. Listen,
That might have been smart.
it's too late for that. Because I want to say we're
too far in
60, 70% through chapter 2. We already have chapter 1 in the bank. And I've taken very little notes.
Only our predictions.
I mean, yeah.
Other than that, no notes.
So, I even trying to think back to chapter 1, I wouldn't even think what I was supposed to take notes of. Especially because not until chapter 2 now I realize, hey, no, maybe things that I were lackadaisical about in chapter 1 were actually super important, because...
It's like, what do you need to pay attention to?
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Is it the differences that are important? Is it the things that are the same or similar that are important? Where is... Assuming there's just one answer to it all in the end, what is the actual truth we're trying to get to? Because the moment you bring in, oh, these are all different stories, and your answers could also all be different. I don't know.
Yeah, it might also make it easier if you already know how the last chapters will be.
Oh, you
like
wanna,
the answer arcs.
So you want to do the thing that I do with books and play chapter 8 first and then play...
No, but if you know, they're called answer arcs, but if you know how that will look, like, are they actual things we need to answer, or are they just called answer arcs because questions you have now accumulated will be answered in there, or do we need to solve something? Because then it's also more...
Yeah, and if there's multiple answer arcs, will the answers at least line up and match? Like, is it just going to be more confusion? I know my voice doesn't sound like I sound happy about this, but I've never played a game like this before or read a story like this. I mean, I'm engaged, I'm enthralled, like, keep going, but I have absolutely no idea where any of this is going.
In the end, I just kinda hope that when we do need to actually answer something, when we're there,
we'll be able to remember.
Yeah, we'll be able to remember and be able to pinpoint it to wherever it was.
So you're asking if answer arcs have answers? Yes, and if we'll be able to comprehend them as such. I guess is the bigger problem.
Yeah, and it's just like, in what type of form? I'm still not really sure about that. But in the end, I think keeping track of some of the differences is a good idea, at least. Because that's obviously a big point.
Yeah, but what is everything? That's then my next question. What is everything that could be important? Is it who Keiichi talked to about what at what point? Is it...
I hope not.
Maybe with the whole, like, is it Mion or Shion on the phone? I'm beginning to... I'm already overthinking, which you can tell by just listening to me speak when I start one sentence and then it becomes 13 or slight tangents. But is there anything in the way Mion's speech was written in chapter 1 that makes her immediately identifiable as Mion? A speech quirk, if you will, that we now maybe didn't even pay attention in chapter 2, that would make it immediately obvious. That's Mion, that's not Mion.
Yeah, but Mion and Shion would know these things from one another.
That's the next thing. They're twins. For all we know, they know each other well enough that they know that too. So then there's no way for me to know. So I have to enter my brain into this multiversal quantum state where I have to imagine every possible combination of realities at the same time is equally valid and they're all leading somewhere. I have to enter the morphogenetic field. I have to breathe. I have to breathe most of all.
It's okay. I'm more of a go with the flow sort of strategy.
Get it? Flow? You stop thinking, you lose.
But I think it's been...
I know it doesn't sound like I think a lot, but trust me, I do. It just doesn't always go the way or other people would expect it to.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely feel that.
You know, just because you're thinking a lot doesn't mean it makes sense. Or that you're able to communicate, but I'm so confused.
But yeah, I think we've seen enough Hinamizawa series today.
I still have a cake to make.
No, that's true. Very... hopefully tasty cake.
Yes. What's it called in English? I wanted to say it in Dutch. Bosvrucht.
I wanted to say the name, but I couldn't think of it, so...
A forest fruit cake. Just something simple, just like a layer of cake and then like this filling on top and just disassembled basically because it's easier to eat. And I'm lazy and I feel like eating that.
We're gonna have an active weekend. So I think we deserve tasty cake.
Yes, hence no stream on Sunday. Also, we still have some unclear work scheduling stuff for next week. So we're not gonna say see you on Tuesday. We'll see you when we'll see you after we posted the schedule. I'm sorry. It hurts me too. Listen, part of the reason why we have a schedule is because I enjoy the stability. You know, I'm boring. I like knowing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays at 7 p.m. I'll be sitting here playing video games and have... I know. I feel that.
It's gonna be a little bit of a bumpy month because I also need to travel to Poland for work soon. So then I'll also be gone.
I have solo streams
for a few days. So then there will be solo streams.
Crap,
again.
what was I gonna play out here?
You made a plan, but I don't know what it was.
How many days are you gonna be gone? I need at least 3 consecutive days on near to each other so that we can do Sonic Adventure.
4.
But 3 stream days.
You can have a 3rd stream day.
You're not getting out of streams. I know that's not what you're saying, but that's what it feels like to me.
No, I believe it will be a Monday to Thursday.
I have to find something else. I can't speedrun Sonic Adventure. I mean, I can get through that in 2 streams, but then we skip all the cutscenes. And the cutscenes are part of the fun because of the facial animations. They are basically like that if you've never played Sonic Adventure.
We'll still let you know.
Yes.
We'll have that cleared this weekend, at least for next week, that is.
Yes. We will see you when we will see you. But before that, you were already trying to say the same thing I was trying to say, I believe.
I said in the meantime we can go hang out with Skinner and Benjima, who are playing Tekken at the moment, I believe. Oh, never
Skinner
mind.
just went offline. What are you doing to me, my man?
I take back what I said.
Wait. Check out this Tekken 8 stream from 9 minutes ago.
He went offline 2 seconds ago. I'm guessing he had some issues.
Give me one moment. Oh, I still have Discord open. Let's see if there is a message.
either we do an offline raid, if he still comes back online in a second, or we call it a night and then people just go check
TikTok
out
Skinner, TikTok, if you can hear this.
Have a quick look again.
I have an alternative idea.
What?
I'm communicating with Tifa telepathically and showing her things.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna refresh one more time to give Skinner the chance. No. Alright, so a double shout out. Skinner
You messed up the...
was going to play some Tekken 8 and or Jackbox maybe tonight. I was going to be part of it. I was planning to at least. Something is happening, which is why he isn't online right now. So maybe check it out later when you want, whenever it's convenient. You should. But instead, also I like how...
Backup plan.
Because if you see the URL, you get the preview. And Skinner's about himself bio on Twitch is inconsistently playing games. And that's just so perfect right now. It's just...
I'm sure he'll be back in a bit.
So instead, how do you write this? Everything Fantasy. We're gonna go write Everything Fantasy, which is 1/2 people. One of them being our very own Snowy Snowish, playing with her friend Corey. And they're streaming together.
At the moment... Oh, I was gonna say I thought it was just a Snowy stream, but they are actually streaming together.
Yes, and they're playing Metal Gear Solid. And they are near the... I know the game. They are near the end, and it's about to get cinematic as fuck. So if you enjoy Metal Gear Solid or Snow or Corey or cinematic things
or raids
or fun in general, or just something that isn't a visual novel for the next couple minutes, you should stick around for the raid and or check them out whenever it's convenient for you. You can click that thing and go there already if you want, but you can also just wait for the raid.
That sounds like a plan.
I need to breathe in between words.
When
we see you. I press the button because Tifa doesn't.
Thank
you everybody for hanging out with us and going through more of the Higurashi madness. Stick around for Raid if you can. We'll be back when we're back. Please check the schedule.